It is called the Holy City for a reason. It's a beautiful place on earth, and we're happy to be here bringing you the CAA Baseball Championship Game 2 between Elon and Campbell. The number 3 seed Fighting Camels coming in red hot after scuffling a little bit to start the year. Elon needing a little bit of help on the back end to get into the tournament today. I'm Mike Ward alongside Luke Gerasati as we take a look at the Credit Union 1 CAA Baseball Championship Tournament summary. We have one game in the books already. Luke, College of Charleston run ruling William and Mary. So the loser of this contest will play William and Mary tomorrow at 11 a.m. The lower seed winner of Game 1 or 2 will play Northeastern at 3. And then the higher seed winner of Game 1 or 2 will play UNCW tomorrow at 7 p.m. As we get set here at what is a beautiful ballpark, we'll take a look at the offense of Elon and Campbell. You see the batting average a little bit different. Runs, though, the same. On base percentage favoring Elon. Home runs, that way in favor of Campbell, as they like to send the ball out of the ballpark. Stolen bases, the Camels like to run. You'll see that all day long. And then the free swinging Camels with 474 strikeouts and just 215 walks. Elon, a little bit more disciplined at the plate as a unit. Defensively between these two teams, take a look at the team ERAs, about a 1.5 difference between Elon and Campbell. Opposing batting average favors Campbell. Walks to strikeouts for pitching, about the same as you look through it, a little bit more walks issued by the Camels, and then hits dead even. And Luke, you and I were talking, the 50 home runs allowed, 10 and 11 saves, the run differential a little bit in favor of Campbell. These two teams, you look at the records, pretty evenly matched.
These are as two evenly matched teams as we might see this tournament. You know, both of them have played really well at points this year, and both of them have struggled at other points this year. But now, you know, brand new season for both of them, and we'll see what we get.
Take a look at the batting order and defensive alignment for the two teams. First for Elon, it'll be Jackson Alford leading things off, followed by Tank Yakubi. Ryan Sprock will bat third, Alex Duffy fourth, Charlie Granatel in the DH spot will bat fifth, Kenny Mallory Jr. sixth, Will Vergatino will bat seventh, Vince Fator will bat eighth, and Jake Haju will bat ninth. You see defense will look like this. Jackson Thompson behind the plate, Joey Morton at first, Jonah Oster at second, Darnell Parker at short, Charlie Meglio at third, and in the outfield from left to right, Joe Simpson, Dalen Thompson, and Andrew Keller. On the bump for the Fighting Campbells, it will be Jake Murray, the grad student, making his 15th start of the season. He's 4-2 with a 4.37 ERA in 57 2/3 innings pitched, 46 hits, 38 runs, 28 earned. Has walked 31, struck out 81. Opposing batters hitting just 212 off of him.
Yeah, this has been the guy that's been Campbell's #1 starter this year, leading them in innings pitched and ERA, and we'll get more into this. He was excellent against Elon just less than 2 weeks ago, and he'll face that same lineup again.
First pitch for Game 2 here in the CAA Championship at 4:03. It's 92 degrees here in Mount Pleasant. Feels like temperature of 95, mostly sunny skies with the wind gusting here right off the harbor, coming in from the west at about 11 miles an hour with gusts up to 24. As you see Jackson Alford's numbers on the season, a 296 hitter, 7 home runs for him as he has 25 driven in.
And Mike, this is a guy that was hitting over 300 for most of the year. He, at one point this season, was getting multiple hits almost every other game. He's kind of slumped as of late. As you mentioned, Elon's, they've lost their last 5 coming in, so they've got a bunch of guys who, if they could get going again, would be really big for them.
Talking with Coach Kennedy as Alford strikes out looking. Jake Murray with a punchy here to start game number 2.
And very quick and good start for Jake Murray, who picks up right where he left off. He went 7 scoreless against Elon on May 10th. That was his career high in innings pitched, and picks up where he left off as he sends Alford down pretty quickly. As Tank Yakubi will be the next batter. Murray continuing to work quickly as the first pitch is fouled away.
Yakubi hitting .331 on the season, 3 doubles, a triple, 25 runs batted in. Yagubi, a one-time transfer from William and Mary. A couple years back, played for the Tribe, made his way to Elon. Stands in the box at 5'10", 185, just a junior.
Yeah, and already down 0-2, so Elon being aggressive early on, trying to get around at his fastball.
You know, this is a Campbell team, we'll talk about it the bottom half of the inning a little bit more. They like to jump out in front and score runs early, as they have a pretty good win-loss record when they strike first. As the 1-2 is delivered, it'll be fouled off as Tank will have another shot. Spoils a nice pitch by Murray.
And Elon, on the other hand, they've been an excellent first-inning team this year. They've gotten up to crazy runs at times in the first. The problem's already been after that, and closing games for them has at times been a struggle this year. In fact, against Campbell, the second game of the series, Elon was up to a 5-0 lead. They were up 6-1, and then Campbell scored the next 10 in the game. So the Camels kind of had the momentum in this series, which again, these two teams played just 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, talk about knowing your opponent. They do know each other well. As the count runs full, good job by Yagubi to work the count full. You mentioned that jumping on top for Elon, plus 40 run differential in the first inning.
Yeah, and it really is so important for them, and really even at times this year they've jumped out in the first inning to big. I think it was a game actually here where they scored 6 runs before even making an out, and even that game they had to hold on to win 14-13 against Charleston.
This one out to right center field, carrying well. That ball's driven. It'll one hop and bounce over the wall. Ground rule double for Yagubi.
Well, that wind is going out to right center field, so that ball, which kind of looked like maybe it would just be a bloop single, just carried and actually had enough to one hop over the wall. A really good at bat by Yagubi. It felt like he got behind in the count so quick. But showing what kind of hitter he is. He's only struck out 28 times all season and wasn't going to be again that time.
Yagubi with the first hit of game number 2. Here in the top of the first, Ryan Sprock steps in. Sprock will take that one down low. Oster doing a good job of keeping it in front, tracking it down. You see Sprock hitting .332 on the season, 50 runs driven in.
Yeah, he was just named to the first team All-CAA, the only Elon player on that team, and not just with the bat, but he's also a pitcher for this team, so we could see him out of the bullpen in any number of games in this tournament.
Semifinalist for the two-way player of the year in college baseball.
Yeah, he really has, and he's had games where he's done both. But yeah, Sprock has been probably the best Elon player most of this year. He also has gone a little cold the last 5 games, but 3 years for Elon, hitting over 300 every year. Career high 14 homers this year as well to lead the team.
Little delay as Oster, I don't know if he had a complete blowout on one of his shin guards or if he was wearing the wrong one. They quickly were able to hand him one. We see him tying that one up. And one of the straps, I think, popped on it. But he's able to get another piece. That was, the tools of ignorance that the catchers wear behind the plate there are much needed. So the 2-0 after the short delay to Sprock. He'll rip that one foul. Makes it 2-1.
And here we got his third base coach there. Yeah, shin guard delay in the first inning. We didn't have that one.
Was that not on your bingo card?
It wasn't on mine.
2-1. Nice breaking ball. Hits the bottom of the zone for strike 2, 2-2 count. Murray with a fastball that's going to sit 90-93. Got a curveball, a big 1-7 break, 75-78 with that one, a slider in the low to mid 80s. And he occasionally does throw a changeup. It's rare, but 82 to 84 on that 4-pitch mix
It's a
from
really
southpaw.
It's a really impressive arsenal for a guy that started off as a reliever and only started to start a few games 2 years ago, that didn't play at all last year, and now this year he's turned into the ace on this Campbell team.
Another full count. Fastball will miss low as Brock draws the walk. And now Elon with 2 on and 1 out. Got a little something cooking here in the first inning.
And once again, Murray's got a good chance to put him away, but Brock is a really good hitter, not going after those pitches just outside. That's such a good 2-2 pitch, but he was able to lay off the next 2.
Alex Duffy, the catcher, hitting .356 on the season. Duffy with 12 doubles, 3 home runs, 48 runs batted in.
That's one of the best hitting catchers in the conference, Mike.
Now back out of play, 1-1. Duffy, a righty when he's behind the plate, lefty when he's swinging at the dish. 6 foot, 210. Redshirt junior out of New Jersey.
He leads the entire Elon team in batting average, probably been their most consistent hitter all year. And Elon, we mentioned they're on that 5-game losing streak. They scored some runs late against UNCW, and Duffy had a pretty good day at the plate, getting 2 hits. So even though they lost that last game and did kind of back into the playoffs, we'll see if they have built any momentum from that.
This is upstairs, 3-1. And, you look at Duffy as a catcher. You look over in that dugout, Mike Kennedy, the head coach for Elon, a catcher in his time before coaching. 6 big awards in 8 years for the catchers on this team, as this one's hit hard out to right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. And we'll have at least our first run of the game, maybe 2. Yeah, they're going to send and try and score. And we'll plate 2 as Elon takes the script and runs with it. A 2-0 lead here to start the first inning.
Another strong first inning for Elon, and that's exactly what they needed. Elon and Duffy catch a break here because this is very similar to the ball that was just hit, but it stays inside the ballpark, and that allows Sprock to score all the way from first. Sprock not really the best runner on the team, but they're aggressive with sending him, and he makes it easily.
And the right fielder, Keller, had a little problem digging it out along that chain link fence in right center field. Duffy, 13 doubles on the season. He's now got 50 runs batted in.
What's interesting is this is slightly more of a hitter's park than both teams are used to playing in, especially Campbell. So, both teams this year have had a kind of up and down offenses as they've gone, and we're kind of talking, we don't really know what to expect in this one, and nothing would really surprise us.
Yeah, you got 2 teams, very similar records. We saw the offensive and pitching numbers as combined teams, but you start to whittle it down to the starters, and it gets a little bit even more eerily similar. You look at wins and losses we talked about. Both teams 9-14 on the road. Both teams 500 at home, and almost dead even overall in record. The 1-0 to Charlie Granitel. Makes it 2-0. Granitel, the senior, hitting .275, 12 doubles, 2 triples, 2 long balls, 32 runs batted in. Duffy takes his lead at second. Murray delivers a strike, 2-1.
It's such an experienced Elon team. We just looked through the lineup, so many juniors and seniors. Most of these Elon players, even after last year when Elon had a disappointing year, didn't get in. Most of these guys have played in big games before. 2 years ago when the tournament was here, almost, I'd say more than half of these guys were on the Elon team.
These are 2 teams. Neither of these 2 teams made the conference tournament last year.
Neither did, yeah.
So both teams riding the ship, Campbell and Elon, both with very prestigious baseball lineage and history, as this one's hit very hard out into left center field. It's going to get back, and nice grab in center field by Thompson.
Dalen Thompson playing a very tough center field. He has to make that catch on the run in the wind.
Luke, that ball hit 400 feet It needed about another 2 feet to get over the wall.
Yeah, I think if the wind was blowing out to dead center, it might have had a chance, but it's kind of going from left to right, and that actually worked against the ball hit by Granitel.
Duffy moves up to third on the play as Kenny Mallory Jr. steps in with 2 away. Mallory Jr. hitting .290 on the season. He's got 7 doubles, a triple, 3 long balls, and 36 runs batted in.
And Mallory Jr., the team leader in stolen bases, as you see right there, 16. Elon, they don't run nearly as much as Campbell does, but Mallory Jr., one of the guys who does, if he can get on.
Breaking ball can't locate for Murray. Makes it 1-1. Outfield straightaway, infield a slight shade towards the bag at first. Expecting a pull from Mallory Jr. Mallory Jr. out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, 6'3", 202. True lefty. That one misses about 2 balls off the plate.
The Campbell fans in the crowd wanted that, but yeah, I agree. Good call by the home plate umpire, Wilson Brainer. Kind of getting anxious as Murray's already throwing a lot of pitches here in this first inning.
Out to center field, lazy fly ball for Thompson. Is it deep enough? It won't be, as he'll make the grab for the final out. A big 2-run double puts Elon up 2-0. We'll be right back, bottom of the first.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities,
in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Welcome back in on the CAA Baseball Championship as Elon versus Campbell, 2-0. Elon, as we take a look at the batting order for the Fighting Camels, Joe Simpson will lead off, followed by Dalen Thompson, Andrew Schultz, Joey Morton. Jonah Oster will bat 5th. Charlie Meglio 6th. Darnell Parker, Andrew Keller, and Jackson Thompson. See defensively, Duffy behind the plate, Mallory at first, Brigantino at second, Haju at short, Sprock at third. In the outfield from left to right, you've got Alford, Yakubi, and Vittori. On the mound for the Phoenix will be number 21, right-handed pitcher Declan Lavelle, making his 15th start of the season. Lavelle 3-6 with a 5.05 ERA. In 76 2/3 innings, he's given up 81 hits, 57 runs, 43 earned, has walked 18, struck out 60. Opposing batters hitting .261 off of him. And for the grad student on the mound, 6'1", 190 out of Rye, New York. Spent his last 4 years at Fordham. And amassed a very talented career before coming to Elon.
Dan, we were talking about it before the game. He was not Elon's #1 starting pitcher all year, but just because of circumstance, he's had to start this game. And I think he's a guy that Elon really trusts. You know, early in the year, he actually did act like kind of a stopper. He had a couple really good starts early in the year when Elon had to. He started the year 1-6. He needed to get some wins early on. And, well, the ERA is 5, but definitely some good and bad starts mixed in there.
Joe Simpson will lead things off for the Fighting Camels. We saw Simpson hitting .343 on the season, 7 doubles, 9 home runs, 28 runs batted in.
When you talk about why Campbell made the tournament this year, not last year, Simpson's one of the biggest reasons probably. He only played 2 games last year and then missed the rest of the year. And this year he's been debatably the best player, one of them for the Camels.
Very consistent at the leadoff spot. Nice plate setter for this Campbell team, as this one's popped up behind home plate. Duffield give it a look, can't make the grab, as it's one of the things that catchers, more than anyone, I guess outfielders as well, have to really fight with at an unfamiliar ballpark is the walls. You know, on a pop-up like that, you're trying to keep the ball in sight as well as know where that wall is, and in this case, that ball just kind of tailed back away from him and not able to hang on to it.
Yeah, and at this park, it's harder for the catchers because of the shadows and the high wall with the wind. But yeah, that was a catchable ball. See if Joe Simpson can take advantage of the second chance here.
2-2. Skied into left field. Alford tracking and moving and can't make the grab. That ball was pushed away from the left fielder, and now pulling into third base is Simpson. And we talked about it early, Luke. That wind gusting up to 25 miles an hour is going to play havoc in the outfield today.
That ball was hit so high that I think that, yeah, if there was no wind, it would have been an easy fly ball. But that ball, that ball probably moves about 20, 30 yards from where it was going to be hit originally. Yeah, Elon fielders, both catcher and outfield, a little trouble tracking the fly balls early on. They'll call it a base hit, though, so give a triple to Joe Simpson.
That'll be his first of the season as Dalen Thompson steps in. Thompson, a .326 hitter on the season, 10 doubles, 7 long balls, 42 runs batted in. Thompson out of Dunn, North Carolina, the senior, 6'1", 195. Campbell with a chance to answer here in the bottom of the first as Elon leads 2-0. For Declan Lavelle, you're going to see a fastball with a little bit of ride, 87-91. Slider cutter around 84, a 1-7 break curveball that sits in the mid-70s. Also with a changeup. We'll have a little arm side run to it as he tries to split the plate as Thompson fouls that one off to stay alive, 0-2 the count.
Yeah, that's a really good pitch right there. And that's for Thompson. First of all, how good does that catch look in center right now after we've seen how much trouble all the rest of the fielders have had with some of these fly balls? That catch saving at least one run.
Strike 3. That catches the outside corner. And it's the first strikeout of the day for Declan Lavelle. There's now one away here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that was one that definitely Lavelle needed. And this is a guy who's really good at finding the strike zone. He said his stats, he only walked 18 guys all season. That's less than, or just a little over 1 per start. So he finds the strike zone pretty well.
It's a nice off-speed pitch as now Andrew Schultz, the designated hitter, steps in. Third pitch to him misses outside. Schultz, a sophomore, hitting .281, 14 doubles, 11 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Those 49 RBI lead the team.
Yes, this is a big spot for him with Campbell. You know, just get one back for now and you feel pretty good.
Big swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. Middle infield all shaded to the third base side of second, with the first baseman Mallory being left alone all by himself on the right side.
And they're not playing too far in yet either.
Swing and a miss.
I think at this point, I'm actually not sure if they would concede the run right away, but I think that if you're Elon after the way it started, you'd be happy if you got out with a 2-1 lead.
The 1-2. Fastball, 91. A little bit outside though as Lavelle evens it up 2-2. Joey Morton awaits on deck as that is strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts now from Lavelle. Has Elon right where they want to be here in the bottom of the first. There's a guy on third, but Elon looking to strand him. There's a big pitch, fastball up out of the zone. Schultz chases for the second out.
Talked about it at the top. This is a Campbell team that, they hit a lot of home runs. They hit pretty well, but they do strike out a lot, and that can be the risk when you're in a situation like that, when you have a runner on third. Strikeouts, that's the one thing that does not have a chance of helping you.
Joey Morton, the junior, hitting .292, 10 doubles, 4 home runs. 4 triples, 11 home runs, 39 runs batted in.
Morton was one of the players for Campbell who, Campbell really kind of reset their season. They started to play better once conference play started, and Morton is a big part of that. He hit 8 of his 11 home runs this year against CAA opponents. And he's been one of the more consistent hitters all year. I never really had a home run drought longer than 2 weeks all year, I believe.
One-two to Murray. To Morton, as it'll be out in left field. And loses the hat, but keeps the ball in his sights and makes the out is Alford, and Elon, after giving up a leadoff triple, able to strand the runner at third, making it a 2-0 game. We'll take a break. First inning in the books here at Patriots Point.
Be a part of the vibrant culture of Elon University, where personal connections propel your journey. At Elon, potential is mentored into purpose, engagement, and influential leadership. Education transcends the classroom, driven by immersive experiences and hands-on opportunities. Dive in from day one to explore your passions and graduate as a leader ready to make a difference. Are you ready to begin your journey? Discover the possibilities at elon.edu.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com, federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome back in here, the CAA Baseball Championship. Mike Ward, Luke Gerasati, as it will be the bottom of the order for Elon here in the top of the second. Will Vergatino, Vince Vitor, and Jake Haju to get things going after Elon put up 2 runs in the top of the first, as Alex Duffy delivered with a 2-run double.
Yeah, I think that whole first inning for Elon was just great for their confidence. Coming off the 5 straight losses, getting the 2 runs in the first, and then after Campbell leads off with that triple, shutting them down. What a job by Lavelle. Try to add on to it in the second now as Will Bergantino lead things off.
Bergantino, grad student out of Lumberton, New Jersey, 6'1", 204. Hitting .267 on the season as he takes a strike, 0-2 the count.
Another guy who's been on this Elon team for a while, and it was actually really last year where he broke out and it kind of got overshadowed because Elon didn't have a great year, but he was one of the big bright spots that really came out from last year. And now he's helping him again keep part of the lineup in 25.
11 doubles, 3 triples, a home run, 25 runs batted in.
Well, so far, Jake Murray just hasn't quite been able to get that put-away pitch yet. I mean, he's a big strikeout pitcher, 81 strikeouts on the year in 14 starts. A tough Elon lineup to put away.
Talking with Chris Marks, the head coach for Campbell yesterday. Talked a lot about Murray and how he's really worked to get that stuff better late in the season, bigger workload. How it's really paid off is that's just going to be a misplay by the second baseman be an error on Thompson as Bergantino reaches first.
Well, unfortunately, that's kind of one of the issues that has come up for Campbell. Their defense has been inconsistent this year. Tough play for Oster having to run over to his right, but there have been some games this year for Campbell where their defense made a couple of errors in an inning, and it has just really destroyed their pitching staff for the game.
Yeah, this is a very talented Campbell team, Luke. We've seen them in and out all season long. It's like they have the tools in the field and at the plate. It's just using them to the best of their abilities and not making mistakes like that right there.
Wow. 76 errors on the year for Campbell. Now, it's really not even the number of them. It's just
where they've
so
happened.
many. Yeah, there's so many games where it seems like their pitchers give up a ton of runs, but only half of them are earned because of that one big inning that starts with an error, and they're hoping this isn't going to turn into one of them.
Vince Vittori, sophomore, hitting .247, 7 doubles, 2 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Swings through that one, 2-1 the count.
Watch out for Bergantino, too. He's another one of the guys on Elon who not afraid to run. He has the best percentage on the team, 15 for 16, and stolen bases this year.
Middle infield at double play depth, and the lefty Murray throws over. Bergantino takes his lead. This is up in the zone, makes it 3-1.
Well, Vince Vittori this season actually got benched in the UNCW series as he'd been slumping, but earlier this year he was hitting well. He was over a 300 hitter at one point this year. So hoping he can get going again as really the season restarts now.
Murray gets the swing and miss as he works the count full, 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way. That'll be ball 4. Vittori doesn't even allow the home plate umpire to make a decision. He makes it for him. Heads down to first base.
Yeah, well, when you're right about it, then it's not a problem when you do that.
Yeah. Far enough off the plate, you can go ahead and make that assumption and head down to first base. Now this will be the number 9 hitter in the lineup, Jake Haidu. Haidu, a freshman. The bat hasn't quite come around yet, hitting .228, but defensively, just an amazing fielder. Coach Kennedy with high praise for this young freshman. Knows that he's going to come around at the plate. Just going to take a little off-season workout, get a little more meat on the bones, if you will, and Coach Kennedy is excited to have him in the infield, though. Slick fielder in here. He's going to be called upon to lay down the bunt as they'll throw it over to second base, try and catch the base runner napping as Bergantino back in without an issue.
Yeah, perfect spot to bunt in. I think Coach Kennedy has every reason to think that when you look at, this team. He's the one freshman that's in the starting lineup, and even if the batting stats aren't great, he's had his moments this year.
Pops up the bunt, been able to get it down. The throw to first will bounce out of the glove. Coming around third to score will be Bergantino, and Elon makes it a 3-0 game here in the top of the second.
That was a really good bunt by Haju, and it looked like, at first I thought he was going to be able to beat out the throw, and then the throw had beaten him. I got to see if this is more on the throw or if this is one that should have been caught at first.
It's a little bit inside of the bag there as you see the run come home to score to make it 3-0.
And it's not the way Campbell wanted to start another multi-error inning.
Now back to the top of the order. We'll lay down another bunt. Murray to first, and they say just in time. First base coach says, I don't know, and they're going to talk about it and see if we have our first challenge replay, and we will, as Coach Kennedy wants the guys in black to take another look at this one. as this play will be under review.
I really like the idea by Jackson Alford there. This Campbell infield looks a little shaky. Just failed to field a bunt. He tested him right away. And, Alford, a guy that's got good speed. Elon did call for the challenge right away, so now we'll get a look.
Tough to see the ball in that angle. Obviously good hustle down the line from Jackson Alford, who Coach Kennedy says is their play setter. They go how Alford goes offensively. When he gets on base, it makes it so much easier for Sprock and Duffy to really get things happening because he's running around the bases, causing chaos, getting on, and just being an all-out terror for this Elon team.
Yeah, it really has been the case all season. Looking at the play, I think that
Here's another angle.
Morton did a decent job trying to stay on the bag. I think he just beat it anyway, though.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Yeah, I was like you, Mike. At first, I thought they were saying he came off the bag, but I think, no, Alford just flat out beat it. We'll see.
It's one of those where you have to have conclusive evidence to overturn it.
That's true. They did call it out.
Was the call on the field. As you see a couple of arms going down to the Campbell bullpen to get loose. As for Murray, it has been a rough start to his CAA tournament play. Gave up 2 runs in the top of the first. So far has given up 1 here in the top of the second.
Yeah, Elon, whatever they saw in the film from 2 weeks ago, they looked at it and took advantage of it. He only gave up 3 singles in 7 innings that game. And it's been a completely different story in this one. Now here we're going to get the call.
And they will say out at first.
I was wrong there, Mike. I thought they beat it, but I think that you were right, where plays like that, you really need the absolute conclusive evidence. And that's a break for Campbell. That would have been bases loaded with nobody out already with a 3-0 lead for Elon. Instead, the Camels at least able to get 1 down with this heart of the order coming up for the Phoenix. Yakubi, he really started everything back in that first inning. It looked like Murray was going to maybe have a good kind of day. Got 1 out, 2 strikes on Yakubi. And then he worked the at-bat, and on the 3-2 pitch, sent the ground rule double into right center. And since then, Elon's really had the momentum.
Tank shoots this one out to left field. It'll slice foul. Yakubi 1 for 1 today. That double you mentioned, Luke, in the first inning. Coming around to score the game's first run. Here a chance to drive in 1 or 2 runs with base runners on second and third. Just 1 away. Breaking ball misses outside from Murray, making it a 2-1 count.
If I can just go back to that last foul ball real quick. That's a ball that you just look away and you assume it's in the stands, and it actually landed in the field of play. That's how crazy the wind was going from left to right.
This one on the ground to second. That'll bring home a run as Yakubi grounds out 4-3. He'll pick up an RBI, his first of the day.
A very productive ground out there to the right side as Yakubi does the job. And no attempt to go home there for Campbell as they know they have an offense that's good enough to get them back in the game as long as they don't let it get too out of hand here. 4-0, not the way they wanted to start, but not the end of the world. Yeah, good for Yakubi doing the job.
Now that'll bring up Ryan Sprock, a walk in his first plate appearance. Has a run scored today.
Yeah, Sprock, he followed that Yakubi at bat very similarly, where he had 2 strikes on him and then worked out a walk. And they both came around to score.
Oster having to put in some early effort here. Sliding to his left and to his right as Murray tries to locate the zone.
And with a 2-0 count, they're just going to let him have first. They're not going to mess around with Elon's most dangerous hitter. Alex Duffy, not an easy guy to face either, but I get why you do that with not 1 but 2 bases open and already with the 2-0 count.
So after the walk, first and third now for Alex Duffy. Duffy in a similar situation last inning. Had 2 on, but with 1 out. A double to right center field to break the game open for Elon. The throw down to third, offline, almost out into left field, but Meglio able to avoid the runner and go get the ball.
That's not going to go in the score sheet, but Meglio just saved a run there. Really high-risk kind of play by Jackson Thompson.
1-0 misses upstairs, 2-0.
Yeah, so you still do have the base open, so you can pitch carefully. Thompson.
You saw a couple arms go down earlier in the game, Luke. Looks like maybe a righty getting loose in the bullpen. See some milling about going on.
Well, the first game of the tournament, you don't want to have to use too many bullpen arms. So, you know, Campbell, they're really hoping, Coach. They're really hoping that they can get a few innings, even if it's not a great quality start. Just get some out of Jake Murray.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to let him work through it and find it. There's a strike. Duffy almost tossing the bat, but we'll take the strike and dig back in. I think they're just trying to let him work through it, see if he can find his rhythm, start to get closer to the zone, and keep them from going to the bullpen this early. But at the same time, you also cannot afford to give up more runs as they're already down 4-0. Campbell now looking at the bases loaded with 2 outs. Elon, a chance to really break this one open here in the top of the second as Charlie Granitel comes to the plate.
Yeah, Elon has a chance here. Campbell was able to get out of the first once they got to 2 outs, but another 2 runs here. This is a chance for Elon to just take major control. And remember, Granitel hit the ball very well, where maybe if the wind was blown a different kind of way, it could have been gone or off the wall. And for all of Campbell's mishaps in the field, Dalen Thompson made a play that saved a couple of runs when Granitel was up in the first inning.
Murray quickly ahead, 0-2. Breaking ball pulled down the third baseline, foul.
Yeah, those were big pitches for Murray there. No more place to put them. So I get why Granitel was kind of thinking, okay, make him throw a strike.
Granitel's .273 average up to .286 with the bases loaded. Skies this one into left field. Coming in will be the left fielder, Simpson, for the final out. Another 2-run inning for Elon. They lead 4-0 through 1.5 here at Patriots Point.
Currently specializes in baseball and softball equipment, please gloves, fans, helmets, and uniforms.
Can you give me that roll paper? Thank you. Game 2 here at Patriots Point. CAA fans, the CAA Baseball Championship brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Mike Ward, Luke Gerasati has some condos off in the distance. And Luke, what a day it would be to just hang out up there and watch a little CAA baseball.
I can't believe nobody's up there right now. They're getting best action of the year, tournament time.
I mean, it's a Wednesday, Luke. However, I think it's a call-in, I don't feel too good day. And Yeah, a little work from home possibly.
Possibly. But everybody should be getting home soon, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot to play hooky. Jonah Oster out of Apex, North Carolina will lead things off for Campbell here in the bottom of the second. Oster making his 34th start of the season, hitting .248. As that one will catch the umpire on the deflection. Duffy checking on Wilson Rayner. A couple of the athletic trainers coming out to check on the home plate umpire here. They've got a lot of padding back there as well, but foul ball's still hurt.
He's just walking it off a little bit. Looks like he should be all right, which is good.
Oster with 3 doubles, a triple, 7 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Let's take a look at the replay here. Yep, just a glance, and it's not going to feel good. Swing and a miss as Oster falls behind 1-2. Declan Lavelle back out to start his second inning of work. He's looked sharp so far. Gave up a triple. Wasn't really his fault, as the wind really helped out that triple by Joe Simpson in the bottom of the first. He was able to get a couple of strikeouts and a fly out, as he will look to settle in here with a 4-0 lead.
And remember, Oster made the error that started things off last inning, or the top of this inning for Elon, so he's got a chance to really make up for that if he can start a rally for his team in the bottom.
Reaching out, protecting the plate, stays alive.
That was a good foul tip to be able to get a piece of that one. That was a really good pitch.
Let's go 3.
This one hit well out to center field. That's going to chase Yakubi back to the wall. That ball is gone. Solo home run for Jonah Oster. Campbell gets on the scoreboard, makes it a 4-1 game.
And that's one way to pick your team up, as Jonah Oster, just a .248 average. He's got some power. It's his 8th home run on the year now. Kind of opposite field there, too, or almost dead center, actually. Riding the wind a little bit that way.
100 miles per hour, the exit velo. Went an estimated 413 feet to dead center.
Third baseman, number 29, Charlie Meglio.
Bring up Charlie Meglio. Meglio hitting .254 on the season. A sophomore with 14 doubles, a team leading 12 home runs. That leads the team. 39 runs batted in. Meglio watches the breaking ball for a strike, 1-1.
Well, Meglio's had some big games this year. One that jumps out, they played a ranked Duke team on the road, and Meglio had 2 homers in that game. That game ended with Campbell actually being 1 out away from winning it, and then giving up a walk-off grand slam. They've had a few tough losses like that this year. So that was a big game for Meglio.
Coming out of his shoes for that one. Can't catch up. 2-2 count.
And Meglio, another guy who does strike out quite a bit. 42 strikeouts, just 14 walks on the year. Hey, one thing about Campbell, though, they don't walk a lot, but they do get hit by a lot of pitches. 10 for Meglio. There's some guys in his team that have more hit by pitches than walks.
Any way you can get on base, though. This one chopped down the third baseline. It'll be just foul as Sprock fields it in foul territory. It's been a nice day so far, Lou. Game 1 ended relatively quickly, a 7-run rule for Door College of Charleston as they won 12-0. A complete game by Jake Brink as he went 7 innings. As William and Mary will drop into the losers bracket. Charleston will either take on Northeastern or UNCW depending on the outcome of this game. As Charleston is the 4 seed, so if Campbell wins, Campbell would face UNCW, and Charleston would face Northeastern.
Yeah, this is kind of the game that decides a lot of the tournament because it is they play it where they reseed based on the highest seed remaining. So if Elon wins, they would play Northeastern, whereas if Campbell wins, they would play UNCW and lead Charleston
to the other, yeah.
to play. But we talked about it. Both of those teams, especially with the top of their pitching staffs, are going to be pretty tough. Obviously, Northeastern's had the historic year where they're going to have a chance to get an at-large, but I think both opponents are going to be very tough.
And you got UNCW with the reigning CAA pitcher of the year on the mound, who will probably start. Can't confirm that, but probably should start on Thursday.
I would expect it to be the case. And then also with UNCW, they've won this tournament the past 2 years. It's still theirs until somebody beats them.
Darnell Parker Jr. with 1 on and no outs. As the middle infield moves to double play depth for Elon. 256 hitter, 10 doubles, 8 home runs, 39 runs batted in for Parker. Parker, 6'1", 200, out of Carrollton, Virginia. A one-time transfer from Wichita State. Turns on this one, but that'll hook foul. We'll give it a second, though, because that wind has pushed a couple back, but I think that one was far enough out of play that we didn't have to worry about that one coming back in.
Yeah, it was hit pretty hard, too, by Parker. And Parker, he's up to 8 home runs now on the year. He kind of got there quietly with a push late. Actually, the game against Delaware that Campbell clinched the CAA championship, that was really Darnell Parker's day. He had a 2-homer day in that one. So he's kind of slowly been improving those hitting stats.
Throw over, almost caught him leaning, but the throw a little bit short of first, and Mallory Jr. had to go out and grab it, keep it from skipping away. Meglio 15 for 15 on the season. As they'll throw back over again. Meglio back in ahead of the tag.
Now, of course, when you get picked off, that doesn't count against your caught stealing, so I mean, that's why you throw over. You figure, okay, if he goes, we're not going to get him, so get him while we have the chance.
1-2, that's behind the batter.
I think they got a break. He hit the bat.
It did.
So, yeah, otherwise Meglio would have been easily down to second. But instead, it's an unconventional foul ball.
Wow. Great camera work by our team here.
I always thought if you could do that on purpose, that'd be a really good way to get ahead of the batter.
Little 2-footer. This one back up the middle. That'll go a little bit further, as it'll be a base hit for Parker Jr. Campbell trying to answer. They're in the bottom of the second. They've already plated 1 run on a solo home run. They've got runners on first and second and nobody out. They look to rally back. Declan Lavelle now being tested by this tough offensive-minded team.
Yeah, nothing fancy there for Parker, just a ground ball up the middle that gets through. Now Campbell's offense, which they've been a little hot and cold, a little Jekyll and Hyde all year, but when they've been hot, they've been on.
This one skied to center field. Yakubi makes the grab. The throw into the cutoff is tagging and moving to third will be Meglio. And now 1 away with first and third for Campbell.
What makes that play really important on the Parker hit that Yakubi was able to keep Meglio at second, because if he was on third, that would have been another run right there and would have easily tagged home. But even even though Yakubi lost his hat, able to get the ball and get it in on the, talking about the play before.
So this will be the number 9 hitter, Jackson Thompson. Thompson hitting .262 on the season, just the 37th start for the left-handed swinging junior. 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Another throw over, close at first, as Parker dives back in. Parker 16 for 18 on the season in stolen bases. He's got a big lead over there at first.
Well, you know that Lavelle and Elon, they're ready for this team to run on them. We've seen a lot of pickoff attempts already in this one.
That's a nice hold there by Lavelle, Luke. You see him mixing up his delivery a little bit here. That last time he threw over, got the ball back, glanced over, and then just you freeze on the mound. You just hold until the last second and deliver. And then the time before that was a little bit faster. So he's doing a good job of mixing up his delivery times to kind of keep the base runner Parker off balance.
Talked about Murray pitching against Elon. Actually, well, it was the same matchup when these two teams played, Lavelle against Murray. So you know that Lavelle was ready for this team to run on him. Campbell actually only stole 1 base that game, so it's pretty good keeping him on in that one too. As Lavelle didn't pitch badly that game. He pitched into the 7th inning, but just didn't get any run support, so took the loss.
Another throw over. It's a nice move from Lavelle.
Yeah, he's got a good move. He hasn't thrown it wild yet. And so far I don't believe Campbell. I don't think they've attempted one yet this game. So they are being very careful, and they're going to pick their spots.
And that will be a ball that bounces off the catcher and shoots away. Or did it hit the butt of the bat? It was hard to see from my angle. I think that was a foul ball.
Yeah, I think that was another non-swinging foul ball.
Yeah, here's a take at the look. Oh yeah, off the butt of the bat. Sure enough.
Yeah, at first I thought it was gonna be a hit by pitch, and see Alex Duffy right over there saying no, that hit the base of the bat. Good call. And just terrific camera angles we have.
2-2, runner going. It'll be bounced off the first baseman. The second baseman will recover, trying to go from first to third on the play, and successfully sliding in as Parker Meglia will come home to score, making it a 4-2 Elon lead.
That was Will Bergantino who had the real heads-up play that saved that play from being even worse for Elon. They do give up a run, but they get the key second out.
A little 3-4-3 put out over there at first base.
That's not one you see very often, and credit to Mallory too, because even after making what he probably thought was an error, he was able to recognize that the play was still there to be made. He stayed on first, and it's just a sack ground out for Campbell. But they do get another one back.
Thompson will pick up an RBI on the play. Back to the top of the order with Joe Simpson. A triple in his first at-bat. 1 for 1 today for the man wearing 0.
And Joe Simpson had the most success against Lavelle the last time they matched up. 2 for 3 with a double.
Checks the swing there. They say he does go around. We'll make it 1-1. Excuse me, 1-2. My apologies.
He set the tone in that game with a double in the first, just as he did with a triple today. The only difference today is that his teammates weren't able to score him. This one on the ground to short. Backhanded
by Haju, and over to first. And safe at first. Simpson, 2 for 2 on the day, a triple, a single. We'll bring home the 3rd run of the inning. What a bang-bang play over there first, Luke.
Yeah, and hearing the reaction, obviously the mixed reaction from the crowd, but Elon, they don't seem like they're going to challenge this. As it seemed like, I think Mallory did get pulled off the bag. Really good play by Haju, the top defender.
Oh, the ball came out.
Oh,
we were shielded there, Luke.
Yeah.
And a throw down to second base. Not in time. Elon, though, thinking they got the tag on the back foot. Middle infielder signaling for a challenge review. And Coach Kennedy will ask the umpires to go underneath and take a look at it for the 2nd time today. As we take a look at it here from the center field cam, Luke, what do you see?
I'm expecting to see a tag because Bergantino really felt like he had it. I think that he knows if he hit the foot, and it looks like he did. I don't know if they're going to be able to tell it. That's the problem, but I know human nature. He knows that he did.
Right. Yep. It was a good throw, a little bit away from the bag, but a good, powerful throw from Duffy as we take another look at it from third base. And take a look at that right foot.
Yeah, the throw was in time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he gets him on the leg.
I think that, yeah, they might have enough to tell from that angle. Simpson trying to lower the leg enough. You know, that's the thing when you slide. You want to staying as low as possible, which is not easy to do when you still keep your momentum, but that's really important.
Simpson's only been called out or caught stealing one time this season. He's 20 for 21.
And even if he'd be a little fluky with the foot, it's still be very impressive for Elon. Well, we only had one replay review in the first game, right, between Charleston and William and Merrigan. So
it was on a hit by pitch, yeah.
I kind of figured that we were going to have more of this game. And really,
that's just because we're up here.
Of course. I mean that's part of it.
We had a game last weekend where we had six challenge replays in one game. That was the most we've had this season in one game. We've had our fair share of challenges throughout the years. I really enjoy the challenge review. You know, being able to get it right in real time is tougher and tougher. The speed of the game is picked up. The student athletes faster, more powerful, quicker. And for the umpires to be able to visually keep up is tough. So the video replay allows them to really be able to dial in and make the right call. So they will make the ruling and say out at second base. So Simpson caught stealing for the second time this season. It'll end the bottom of the second inning. A 3-run second. Started off by a solo home run by Jonah Oster. We'll be right back after this.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Look, Elsie is a role player. She cannot lead a team.
Her handles ain't that good. I'm literally, look, you almost ripped her right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it. She's a good piece. If Plum is your number one option, then you're not winning anything major.
What do you say to those that say you can't shoot a three to save your life?
Do it again, though. She can barely hold the ball.
But I'm just not sold on. She can't make that. She's cooked.
Apologize. I ain't gonna lie. She nice.
Well, I mean, she is in the WNBA, so she's gonna hit a few shots. She a problem for real.
Welcome back in as we take a look at an interesting start to game 2, Luke. You know, I had a chance yesterday, though, to talk to the Campbell head coach. They won Chris Marks in his first year at the helm.
This year, who's in his first year as the head coach. to kind of turn them around. You know, the year before they came to the CAA, Campbell, they made it to the tournament and made it all the way to their regional final where they were defeated by South Carolina. But, you know, that team, the 2023 Campbell team, I think they were ranked for a large part of that year, I believe.
You know, this is a program that started in 1963, and they have 6 regular season titles, 7 conference tournament titles, and 7 trips to the NCAA tournament, and including a stretch from 2018, 19, 21, 22, 23. You know, so 5 tournament appearances. You take out the COVID year of 20.
Yeah, it's really 5 straight.
Yeah, it's essentially 5 straight. And, you know, they were ruling the Big South, making the move to the CAA last season, as you mentioned, Luke. And it wasn't quite the season that they had hoped for, but bouncing back this year and looking to continue their winning ways.
And it was another tough start for them this year, too. You know, and as you see, they had a losing record on the year, but they were able to, you know, have enough moments in conference.
As Mallory Jr. laces one out to right field, it'll get over the head of Keller. He'll round first as Keller throws up the hands. A ground rule double for Mallory Jr. That double is 8th of the season. And Elon with a leadoff runner to start the 3rd.
Once again, a ground rule double maybe helping out the field. With Mallory's speed, he might have been able to get to 3rd, but yeah, you see a lot of ground rule doubles out there, you know, with the short wall and kind of the wide field of it. But yeah, really.
I don't know if it's the wall that's that short. You know, it's just that turf.
Yeah, the turf.
It's got a lot. It's got a lot of bounce to it out there around the warning track, and just in front of it is we will see that. Yeah, I believe that is going to be Chris Marks. It will be the head coach for Campbell out of the dugout to have a quick chat. Is number 33. It's Peyton Brown up in the bullpen. Looks like he's ready to go as Marks waiting for the umpire to come out, and he will make the call to the bullpen. So we're going to step aside and introduce you to the new pitcher on the mound when we come back. Mentioned the new pitcher on the mound being Peyton Brown. Brown, a redshirt senior out of Clemens, North Carolina. 6'11", that's right, 6'11", 255 out there on the mound. Safe to say that ball's going to be coming downhill, Luke, as he will be making his 17th appearance of the season, his 12th appearance out of the bullpen. He's 3-2 with 2 saves, a 4.45 ERA. In 54 2/3 innings, he's given up 54 hits, 31 runs, 27 earned, has walked 28, struck out 41 opposing batters, hitting .274 off of him. Brown with a fastball, slider, changeup mix, sinking fastball that'll top out at around 92, slider between 79 82, and a changeup in the mid-80s. First batter he will face, it'll be a ground ball and underneath the glove of the third baseman, as that'll make it 1st and 3rd for Elon, as Will Bergantino safe at 1st.
And not only that, but the misplay allowing Mallory to get to 3rd too. Look at that, he was gonna have to stay in 2nd, but then after the ball gets under, then he took a second to do it before he realized, oh hey, I can get to 3rd as well. So, yeah, another costly mistake for Campbell.
That will be ruled as an error.
Yeah.
Third one of the day for the Camels.
Not the way they wanted to start things for Brown. By the way, this guy's career has been interesting because he started at Campbell, made a few appearances out of the bullpen in 22 and 23. And then last year actually went to Southern Indiana, so he was there for 1 year, and then came back to Campbell, which, with all the transferring, I'm not sure I've seen that. A guy transferred and then came back to the school he was originally from. It's like a 1-year rental that Southern Indiana had him for.
Well, I believe it was Coach Marks that recruited him to Campbell as Coach Marks was an assistant at Campbell up until I believe it was 2020. And then, went on to check out some other opportunities and now back as the head coach. So I believe that is what inspired the change of heart to come back to Bowie's Creek.
That's a good point because you see that a lot from coaches too. So you would expect to see it from players if you're following a certain coach who recruited you.
Vince Vittori, a walk in his first plate appearance, has a run scored today. First and third with nobody out. Elon has put up 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings. They lead 4-3.
Southern Indiana, that's really where Peyton Brown was able to get a lot of the playing time and experience, and he's actually had the best year of his career here with a sub-5 ERA.
This one through the left side, that'll bring home a run as Vittori picks up the RBI single. And Elon makes it a 5-3 lead here in the top of the third.
Well, Elon again scoring early, but they're not just limiting it to the first inning this time, and they are taking advantage of these Campbell mistakes. With every Campbell error, this game has been followed by, if not immediately, then shortly thereafter, an Elon hit.
Vittori seeing the ball real well. That was 109 off the bat. Safe to say he barreled that one up and split the infielders. As this is Jake Haidu. A bunt single today.
And it couldn't have been set up any better for him. He's right back in that same spot. First and second, nobody out. He had a Campbell infield, which is really a little shaky. They need to get some confidence right now. I think we certainly knew coming in that this game had the potential to be a shootout.
The bunt laid down right in front of the pitcher. No play but to first. It's an excellent sacrifice bunt by Haidu. Now second and third with 1 out for Elon.
Yeah, Haidu, he might not be the biggest slugger, but if he can field and he can lay down a good bunt, that's the second time he's laid down a good one. And that time, Brown fielding it very well, but he does the job, gets the runners over, and Elon's got a good chance to have their 3rd straight multi-run inning.
Now Jackson Alford back to the top of the order. Alford 0 for 1 today. A strikeout in the first, a sac bunt in the second. He's got a chance here with runners on second and third to do some damage. Count 2-0. You really don't want to load the bases here as you've got the meat of the order waiting on deck in Yakubi, Sprock, and Duffy.
Yeah, I think Alford, he's going to, especially now at 3-0, I think that this is a point where you lay off.
See if he takes all the way or if he has a spot dialed in. Swings for the fences. Low in the zone, he'll take 4-0 as a 4-pitch walk loads the bases.
Yeah, I think that's a spot where Jackson Alford, he's expecting to get some good pitches to hit, and instead he's just like, okay, I'll take the free pass.
It's going to be the pitching coach Travis Stone out of the dugout to go talk to the big righty. 6'11". That's That's pretty high up there on the mound, Luke.
Yeah, that's definitely a big righty. And you said coming downhill, and that means what's his 6'10" here, 6'11"? He's almost 7 feet. I'll tell you that.
See the size difference
yeah,
there? He makes his coach and catcher look small, and just in comparison, the catcher Oster listed at 6'3".
Yeah, he's 6'3", but he looks like a little guy when you see him next to the pitcher.
So not the spot Campbell would like to be in right now, as Elon has the bases loaded.
Campbell.
And Tank Yakubi coming to the plate. Yakubi, 1 for 2 today, a double, an RBI, a run scored. Breaking ball breaks in for strike 1, 0-1.
Campbell's in a tough spot because, they got 3 runs. They're right there in this game, but how much do you really want to use the bullpen when you got the whole tournament potentially to think about?
Corner infielders in, middle infield at double play depth as that breaking ball misses outside, 1-1.
Campbell's bullpen this year has been very up and down. Had a few good bullpen games. They've also had some where they've blown games.
Kubi fouls it back. Simpson in left field playing pretty shallow. He is not expecting Tank to be able to send one oppo over his head. That one buried inside, 2-2.
Yeah, Tank is definitely more of a contact hitter than a power hitter, kind of ironically considering his name. But but no, he's a good hitter. He gets his bat on the ball. He doesn't strike out. And he did get that extra base hit back in the 2nd inning. That's only his 4th extra base hit this season. Or excuse me, 5th. He's had 4 doubles, 1 triple now. But yeah, he kind of surprised a lot of the Campbell outfield with that one. I think the reason he was able to get to 2nd is because everybody was playing so far in on him.
The 2-2. The base is loaded, misses outside. That'll run the count full.
I think now if you're Brown, I think you can't walk him here. I think you got to take your chances. If he hits a bases clear and double, so be it, but can't give it to him.
Down the line, can it be a double play to get out of the inning? It will be. Campbell with a tailor-made double play almost, as Elon will get 1 run, but it could have been a lot more if it weren't for this great fielding opportunity by Meglio. We'll be right back. Take a look at Mike Kennedy, head coach for Elon. Coach Kennedy, one of the best at it in his 29th season at Elon, Luke. And you think that's a long time for Elon baseball to be at one place, and it is. However, how about this? Elon founded in 1889. They started playing baseball in 1900 at Elon, 127 season. As Coach Kennedy's not been there for most of them.
Not that long, no.
Not that long, but he's been there for a fair amount of milestones. He brought Elon into the D1 era. Their first season was back in the year 2000. Little Y2K moment to bring that one back for those of you old enough to remember. As Dalen Thompson, a leadoff single here to start the bottom of the 3rd for Campbell. As Elon in their first season in the CAA back in 2015. 5 regular season titles for the Phoenix, 2 tournament titles, and 6 trips to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we'll talk about the total opposite from Coach Marks, who's in his first year. And then you had Coach Kennedy in his 29th year. But yeah, one more year, he'll get to 30, he'll get to 900 wins next year, excuse me. Yeah, just an incredible career that he's had and a lot of success. Last year that was a rarity. That was the only time they missed the CAA tournament since they've been in the CAA. So you know that this year, even though it wasn't a perfect year by any means, but they're in. And so far in this game, they've been playing pretty well. Although, as we were talking about, Mike, they've missed some chances where they really could have had control of this one by now.
Let's go, Andy.
Yeah, talking to Coach Kennedy yesterday, and but all the teams had practices. William and Mary, the only team to not practice here at Patriots Point. So I got to talk to all the head coaches and some of the staff, and Coach Kennedy was just excited to get up here, excited to play. They're the 6th seed, but mentioned one thing that stood out to me. He says, we can beat up bad pitching and outscore an opponent, and he feels like this Elon team a little underrated coming in to the tournament. He's like, yeah, we're the 6th seed. Yeah, our record's not the best, but we can play with the best of them. And if you don't bring your best stuff, we can put some runs up on you, as we've seen here today. 5 runs in the first 3 innings, and like you mentioned, Luke, they've already left 6 on base, so it could easily be a 10-0 game, or a 10-3 game, with Campbell having scored 3 runs themselves.
Well, they left the bases loaded in the second, and then last inning, they didn't technically leave them loaded, but they had them loaded with 1 out and a double play. So yeah, if Campbell comes back, they're gonna look back on that. And again, they've had a lot of games like this where they've taken early leads and then faltered later.
Thompson takes off the throw in the dirt, scooped, and then the throw down a little bit short of the second baseman, Vergantino, covering, and that'll be a stolen base for Dalen Thompson. 21st of the season for DT.
Well, you saw Dalen Thompson when he got the hit to start off the inning. He looked over to his teammates, really trying to pump them up. In many ways, he's the leader on this team. He's the senior. And, strikeout looking here.
Yeah, Schilt just got fooled on a breaking ball as he strikes out for the 2nd time today. 3rd strikeout of the game for Declan Lavelle.
Yeah, that was yeah, it did say he went around. I think that from the angle back here, I thought they were going to call a check swing at first, but then looking at that, I can kind of see he went around. What I was saying about Thompson is that he's been on this Campbell team for a while. He was one of the guys who was an everyday player on that team from 2 years
What
ago.
a play at first base by Mallory Jr. Lays out, makes the snag for the 1st out.
What a play by Mallory Jr. indeed.
101 off the bat. Talk about the hot corner. It's reversed with a lefty at the plate. Mallory Jr. does his best Superman impersonation in the infield, lays out and makes the grab.
Well, he got that big first baseman's mitt there. It's actually a little shaken up. He fell hard to the ground, but luckily it looks like he's okay. And remember that play if Elon's able to get out of this inning and keep their lead.
Now with 2 away, Jonah Oster, a solo home run in his first at-bat.
And off the bat, I was already thinking, okay, 5-4, continue to go back and forth, but nope.
Oster, a swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. I think Lavelle would like a little payback here after giving up the solo home run that started a 3-run inning last inning for Campbell. Lavelle hunting for a punchy maybe to end the inning.
Yeah, he's trying to stay in and stay strong. He gave up the one big inning to Campbell, but he still has a chance to have a quality start in this one. It was definitely a well-hit ball by Oster. Wind aided a little bit, but it was dead center, 400 feet. Kind of be a little careful to him this time.
Now a 2-1 count. Outfield straight away. Infield shaded for Oster to pull. Breaking breaking ball in. That's a nice tight 12-6 from Lavelle. It's one of those that starts out above the strike zone and drops in. Charlie Meglio awaits on deck if needed.
Lavelle is now up to, that's 58 pitches now on the day for them. So I think like it or not, it's going to be a big bullpen day for both teams. I think very early on it kind of became apparent that it was going to be that. It'll be very interesting to see how both coaches manage that.
This one roped into left field for a base hit just inside the fair foul line. That'll bring home a run, make it 5-4. Elon with a one-run lead. RBI double for Jonah Oster. That's 2 runs batted in, and he's got 2 extra base hits.
2 for him. That's 6 extra base hits combined for these 2 teams as they are making Patriots Point their home. And good call there. That one right on the inside. Wind going from left to right, aiding that ball to stay fair. And that was really, that's one of our first big 2-out hits that we've had in this game. Campbell kind of needed to hold serve. Elon scored, they answer it. It's kind of been the way it's going now.
And Campbell doing a good job competing with 2 strikes, Luke, as they get the base knocked there. This one out to center field. Yakubi gliding over into right center field and keeps gliding back as the wind pushes that one, but Yakubi able to keep track of it for the final out. Campbell gets another run. It's a 1-run game. We'll be right back.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale. The new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale. The new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Through 3 innings here, we've got ourselves a doozy, folks. 5-4 already, 9 runs between the 2 teams, 11 hits. Campbell with 3 errors on the day as Elon's played some clean defense. For Elon, they've left 6 on base, and for Campbell, they've left 2 on bases. You see that 5-4 score, Luke.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to go into that. The errors jump out at you that the Campbell defensive miscues have allowed Elon to take the lead, and that's really been the difference. But on the other hand, with the amount of hits that Elon has gotten on top of that, you'd expect them to have more runs by this point. But the runners left on base and their lack of 2-out hitting compared to Campbell, that's why they only lead by 1. But yeah, these 2 teams, we said they're pretty even going in, and right now we've seen kind of the good and the bad that we've seen from both of them. We've seen it all in this 3-inning package.
Peyton Brown reaching into the back pocket, coming up with 92 on the fastball, challenging Ryan Sprock, who's leading off the inning. Sprock has reached in 2 plate appearances, a walk and what was officially a hit by pitch. And Sprock swings through the off-speed pitch. It's a good morning, good afternoon, good night 3-pitch strikeout by Peyton Brown.
Yeah, really good one. Ryan Sprock, for being a big slugger, he does not strike out a ton, but you wouldn't be able to tell it from there as he really got Ryan to chase Lone away.
First strikeout of the day for Brown as he's starting his first clean inning. Check swing, they'll appeal down the third. They say he goes around, and they being Alex Duffy. Duffy 1 for 1 today. He got things going for Elon in the first. A 2-run double, a walk in his second plate appearance back in the second. And Peyton Brown, after a shaky start to his relief appearance last inning, doing a great job here with the bases empty, just rocking and firing.
Well, he came into a tough spot, and then he was on the ropes, walking Alford in 4 pitches to load the bases with 1 out. And I think it's so huge because now, Coach Marks has the option to ride him for a little bit. If you look at his season, Brown, he's made a few starts. He's had several appearances this year. He's gone 4 or 5 innings.
This one on the ground to second. Thompson scoops, fires, 2 away.
Now he's got the chance to make this the quickest inning by far for either team so far today. It's been it seems like every time, even the 1-0 that Campbell had, remember that was a leadoff triple. Every inning so far has been a test of endurance for these pitchers.
22, Charlie Granatel.
Charlie Granatel, 0 for 2 today. Takes the first pitch, it misses outside, 1-0. Outfield straightaway, infield a slight shift towards the third base bag. Expecting a pull from Granatel. That'll miss outside yet again, a couple of fastballs, make it 2-0.
By the way, Peyton Brown, maybe his best performance of the year came in this stadium at CFC. And tell me if this sounds familiar, Mike. Murray started the game and he gave up a lot of runs, gave up 7 runs, but only 2 earned with the errors hurting him. Yeah, with the errors hurting him. But then Peyton Brown came in and held him scoreless for 4.
And Charlie Granatel will keep alive the streak of no 1-2-3 innings here so far in Game 2 of the CAA Conference Championship. As he gets a 2-out single to keep the inning going. Is that the first 2-out hit for Elon?
It's their second of the game. But yeah, they hadn't gotten it done with 2 outs, and last inning with 1 out, that's when they hit into the double play. So now Mallory Jr., as he started the last inning with the double and ended up scoring Elon's 5th run. It's like if you're Elon, you just don't feel comfortable, even though you're in the lead. You feel like you have to score. You have to keep scoring every inning.
100%.
Even though it's so unrealistic in a baseball game, but it's like you can kind of just feel the pressure in their dugout.
You know, 369 runs scored by Campbell this season, 362 by Elon. We saw that in the open loop, and it's just a testament to how evenly matched these two teams are as Mallory Jr. hits a hard shot to second, a nice diving catch, an even better stretch at first by Morton. Score remains 5-4. We'll be right back. CAA Baseball Championship here in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Mike Ward, Luke Gerasati, as Elon and Campbell in a tight one. As later on today, don't get excited yet, folks. We know we got plenty of baseball yet, but Jersey Mike's sub above play of the game we'll have for you at the end of the contest. Maybe, perhaps, that grab by Mallory Jr. will make the play of the game. We'll wait and see, as there's a lot of baseball left here in this second game of the tournament today.
I mean, we're less than halfway through. We already have so many different contenders, offensive, defensive plays for both teams. And yeah, it's very going to be interesting to see where this game goes from here. Does Campbell down for the first time this game they enter an inning down only one? It feels like they have more of the momentum. Or do both teams kind of settle down and maybe get some good pitching innings on the board? Once again, I'm really not surprised by anything that could possibly happen.
Bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9 due up here in the fourth. Darnell Parker to lead things off. He's 1 for 1 today with a run scored. Shortstop pops this one up into the infield. Second baseman takes over, makes the grab, one away.
Yeah, with the wind and the unfamiliar park for both teams, it's so important to call out really good communication there between Mallory and Bergantino.
Now with one away, we got Vince Vittori. Vittori 1 for 1 today. He's reached in both plate appearances, a walk, a single, has a run scored. Nope, excuse me. I am way off. Wow. You can save me on that one, Luke, as that was caught at shortstop, as I am on the wrong side of my book.
It happens to us all. That was Andrew Keller who hit it well, but they were shifted against him.
Just punch me in the arm next time for that one, Luke. You said, what happened was you said Bergantino for making out a nice play, and I looked over at the book for that and marked over there. So that's on me. It's a rookie mistake that
you can blame
I'll bounce back from.
If you thought the shift was big on the last batter, just look at it here for Jackson Thompson.
You think they think he's going to pull the ball, Luke? Is 3 guys on the right of second base, and then the third baseman now shifting back over towards the third baseline to take away any potential bunt.
Yeah, because with the way it was before, Thompson could have just bunted it and, would have been on first easily, if not second base, if he was able to push it out past the infield.
Thompson crushes this one into right field, going back at the track, looking up, and gone. Jackson Thompson says, I don't need to bunt it down the third baseline. I'm going to jack it over the shift for the home run as we have ourselves a tie ball game.
You cannot shift against that, that's for sure. Just clean over everything. That one getting all the way into the woods back there. I've been really curious to find out how long that ball went.
Well, Luke, I can tell you, 103 off the bat, 419 feet into right field.
Yeah, just absolutely crushed. No doubter off the bat. And some of the guys at the bottom of the order, Jackson Thompson, that was only his 3rd home run all year, but it looks like a real slugger there.
RBI number 25 on the year for Thompson. That pitch painted on the inside corner. Joe Simpson, top of the order. 2 for 2 today. Simpson a single and a triple so far today.
This time it was Lavelle and Elon who thought they were going to have the quick inning, 1-2, but then couldn't get out with the lead. And now the top of the Campbell order will get another crack as they'll try to take their first lead of the game.
This one on the ground to third. Sprock fields the throw to first as Mallory Jr. able to keep his toe on the bag for the final out. A big solo home run from Jackson Thompson ties it at 5. That ball went a long, long way. We'll be right back.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Win really pushed it. I mean, it would have been gone. Wouldn't have
My
been.
handles ain't that good. I'm literally look. You almost ripped it right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it. She's a
This week between these 6 schools. And that one way up and in
And
to Will Vergantino.
Kind of started the tournament, had one that wasn't very much in doubt, kind of an easy game. Completely different story here as both teams have, taken punches, dished them back. 5-5 after 4.
Vergantino has reached twice today, Luke, both times on an error. He's officially 0 for 2, but has a run scored. Stranded on third back in the 3rd inning.
I mean, once you get to this point in the year, the stats really don't matter as much. It's as good as being 2 for 2. Just get on base, get the ball in play, good things will happen.
Big gap in left center field is the center fielder Dalen Thompson shaded towards right. This one's popped up and out of play. Maybe not. The wind might carry behind the play. An awe-inspiring catch.
Yeah,
to the backstop.
I mean, that one, you've done so many games here, Mike. That one is out of play 99 out of 100 times. But with how high that ball was hit in the wind, incredible tracking there by Oster. These catchers have a tough job on these pop-ups, and Oster, big play there.
So the fly out in foul territory is out number 1. As Vince Fattori steps in. Fattori 1 for 1 today officially. He's reached on a walk and a single, a run scored, and a run driven in.
And for Vergantino, it just shows how funny the game is. He hits 2 ground balls that should be outs. He gets on base, hits a ball that's a foul ball every time, and he's out.
It's the baseball gods coming back to say, you know what, we got to right a couple of blessings in your favor. Got to get the balance restored to even. And you reached twice on a couple of errors, and this time we're going to take one away. A little miss. Not miss. It'll catch the bottom of the zone, makes it 3-1. And that will miss low on the fastball from Brown. So a 1-out walk. We'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Jake Haidu. Haidu 1 for 1 today. And a sacrifice bunt in his last plate appearance. Here with 1 out, I believe we'll get to see Haidu swing the bat, Luke.
Yeah, well, the guys in front of him, Vergantino and Fattori, had gotten on base both times to lead off the innings, so they just had Haidu bunt. But, yeah, this time I think he might get to hit. Again, even though the average isn't that great, he's had a couple of big games this year.
Middle infield, a double play depth for Campbell. As Haidu fouls that one off. Will fall behind in the count 0-2 for the freshman wearing 2-0.
It's actually the last game Elon won, which was the opener at Campbell. Haidu had 3 hits and 4 RBIs.
This one on the ground is short. Taylor made 6-4-3. Inning, double play for Campbell as they keep Elon off the board for the 2nd straight inning. Halfway home here in Mount Pleasant. We'll take a break. Be right back after this. 5-5 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Take a look at the top of the Arthur Ravenel Bridge Jr., Luke, one of the landmarks here in Charleston, as that connects from where we are here at Patriots Point over to downtown, beautiful historic peninsula of Charleston.
That's right. You heard us say Mount Pleasant. You think, wait a minute, that's not in Charleston. Aren't we supposed to be in College of Charleston? Well, that's what the bridge is for.
Get you over there, right? Not a whole lot of land on the peninsula to have the Patriots Point Athletic Facility moved over there. A baseball, softball, soccer, tennis complex here right across the bridge, and not a lot of land for that over on the peninsula. Dalen Thompson skies this one, and that'll be a foul ball as Duffy runs out of room close to the stairs there by the first base dugout.
It's gotten to the point now where every time somebody hits a foul ball behind the plate, we don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be in or out.
Yeah, I'm used to knowing.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that's going to be a foul ball. But with that win today, that one probably pushed it over into an area that was unplayable, where in other days, Duffy probably able to catch that near the on-deck circle. Dalen Thompson, 1 for 2. A single his last time up. Another foul ball as Mallory Jr. gives it a look. That'll get deep into the crowd back behind the first base dugout.
And Mike, this is kind of what I was trying to get at before, and I kind of didn't finish my thought, but Dalen Thompson, he was on the Campbell team 2 years ago that went to that regional finals and fell to South Carolina, but yeah, he was a big part of that team that won, I believe it was 45 wins, so he kind of brings a lot of the experience to this Campbell team. And he's been one of their leaders this year.
The 0-2's bounce through the left-handed batter's box. It'll make it 1-2 to Thompson. Breaking ball turned on. Sprock will back up, field it, fires across the diamond in time. 1 away. That's a nice play there by Sprock at third.
And Sprock just looks so good at third. He's so good at third. He's so good at hitting. It's crazy to think that he also not only pitches, but pitches really well. A lot of those two-way players, when they have to field, you just stick them at first and kind of give them the easy position. But Sprock over at third, he makes these sure-handed plays.
Yeah, Coach Kennedy and I talking again, don't want to bore everybody with, talking to coaches and stuff, but we were talking about Cole Mathis, who played for the College of Charleston last year, two-way player, and Sprock, and, Coach Kennedy's like, we've been lucky as a conference to have some of the best two-way players on several different teams, and it's been a luxury to have Sprock, he was saying. And a lot of times your two-way guy, it'll be a position player that maybe throws 20 innings and, eats up 20 innings, just goes out there and throws for you. But Sprock, man, he gets it done, as you were saying, Luke, in the field, at the plate, and on the mound. As this one fouled over towards first base, Mallory Jr. runs out of real estate. We'll just stay in 0-2 count.
Well, Lavelle kind of has gotten things under control. He gave up the one solo homer to Jackson Thompson, but other than that, he kind of has gotten under control since that, giving up the run that made it 5-4. He's a couple outs away from giving him a 5-inning performance, which I think if you're Elon, you would have taken.
The 0-2 runs it inside, just above the top of the strike zone for ball one. Had it on the black, just a little too high.
Next pitch for Declan Lavelle will be his 80th, by the way.
It is a ball, 2-2. Luke, you got a better view than I do down there.
Yeah,
Can you see anybody up in the bullpen for Elon?
I think I do. I can't see if. Oh yeah, definitely. There's somebody throwing over there on that far side, so I can't tell who.
This one out to right center field. It'll chase Yakubi back. He'll make the grab on the run just side of the warning track for out number 2.
Hey, Yakubi, he's looked very comfortable playing in that right center field, even with the wind.
He's a stud out there. Got the name Tank, just roaming center field. There's the righty up in the pen for Elon.
Yeah, it's number 30. That is Sam Nomura.
Let's go, Joey.
Who was actually, well, at least closed a few games for Elon this year. But yeah, once he comes in, we'll definitely get you more on him.
Joey Morton, 0 for 2 today, a fly out and a line out. A line out courtesy of A1 Mallory Jr. over at first base. Nice diving play back in the 3rd inning.
Joey Morton, by the way, was the only Campbell player to make all CAA first team, which just got revealed yesterday. Sprock for Elon and Morton for Campbell, the 2 representatives.
Yeah, a lot of good players on those lists, first, second, honorable mentions, and all rookie teams as CAA released those. We'll get into that more later in the broadcast. Point out all of the recipients for these 2 teams. 3-2 the count on our 3rd payoff pitch of the at-bat.
Man, there's 3 lefties in this Campbell lineup, and every single one of them we've seen Elon put on not just a shift, but a pretty heavy shift for. So they're really playing into this. And we kind of saw last inning that it worked, with Keller, but then with Jackson Thompson, it just didn't matter.
Breaking ball just misses the top of the strike zone for ball 4 as Morton takes the 2-out walk, and now the entirety of the infield has to cross to the other side of second base as they reset. As Jonah Oster comes to the plate, 2 for 2 today. A couple of extra base hits, a solo home run, and a double. He's got 2 runs batted in. On now, Charlie Maglio awaits on deck for Campbell, should he be needed. Outfield straight away for Elon. Hard shift to the left side in the infield. That one fouled back, makes it 2-2. Oster out of Apex, North Carolina. Redshirt junior, 6'3", 205. We mentioned the height as he went out and talked to his battery mate, Peyton Brown, who's 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, you look small there, and now only here that you see him say, oh, he's a pretty tall guy.
2-2. Back up the middle. Over the second baseman, as going first to third will be Joey Morton. Luke, all he needs is a triple.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, he's 3/4 of the way to the cycle by the 5th inning, and I wouldn't doubt him now. He has been just doing everything this game. That last at bat he had, he pulled it so far down it just barely got inside the foul line. So they shift him, and no problem. He'll go up the middle, even a little the other way.
As Coach Kennedy makes his way out of the dugout and will make the call to the bullpen. We'll step aside and introduce you to the new Elon pitcher on the mound when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for Elon, number 30, Sam Nomura. You saw him warming up earlier on the broadcast. making his 19th appearance of the season all out of the bullpen. He's 3-0 with 3 saves, a 3.95 ERA in 27 1/3 innings. He's given up 32 hits, 18 runs, 12 of those earned. Has walked 14, struck out 22 opposing batters, hitting .296 off of him. Nomura stands on the mound at 5'11", 182. The junior out of Maplewood, New Jersey. You're going to see, a 3-pitch mix: fastball, curveball, and a little bit of a splitter. Fastball is going to sit 87 to 89. That curveball 76 to 79. A big 11.5 breaking ball, and then that splitter will be around 79, 82.
Well, Nomura's a guy who, for Coach Kennedy, he can really deploy him in any inning. He's been used in save spots at times this year, and here, putting him in the 5th inning to get out of a 2-out jam.
First and third as Lavelle, the starter, able to get the first 2 outs of the inning as he retired the 2 and 3 hitter. Joey Morton drew a walk and a single by Oster. Chases him. A strike at the bottom of the zone is Meglio, who is 0 for 1 today. Falls behind 0-2.
That's a chance for Elon to have their first scoreless inning since the first. But Campbell, they've been coming through with the 2-out hits the last couple of innings. That's what them tie this game.
This one out to right center field. That's going to split the outfielders as it hits the base of the wall. 1 run will come around. They will bring Oster around third, and Campbell has their first lead of the game, a 2-out double by Charlie Meglio.
Well, Meglio walked once, had the big fly out, but now finally does what he does best, and that is get big hits, drive in runs. That now makes it a 40 RBI season for Meglio. Nearly left the yard there with the way the wind was blowing. That was the top half of the wall on the air.
At 100 off the bat. That pitch was off the plate too. Reaches out, sends it the other way. 400 feet is the estimated distance. I think that a little bit counting that it was deep behind the plate when the bat made contact, because 400 in that area should be out. That's 375 in the gap. Swing and a miss as Darnell Parker Jr. steps in with 1 on and 2 away. Parker 1 for 2 today.
Now the second guessing might begin for some. Was Lavelle taking out 1 batter too late against Oster, who had already had the 2 hits off of him? But still a lot of time left for Elon, Seems like so much has happened. We're still in the bottom of the 5th inning. Elon has got plenty of time to get their offense going again.
It's now runs in 4 straight innings for Campbell. They scored 3 in the second, a run each in the 3rd and 4th, and so far 2 here in the 5th. Check swing. They'll go down to first. They say he does not go around. The count moves to 2-1.
Yeah, we mentioned that for Elon, it felt like they were feeling the pressure that they had to keep scoring in each inning, and you can kind of see why. This is a Campbell team that they like to hit in bunches. They've done that a lot this year.
Two-1 down the 3rd baseline. Who's there? Sprock. He'll make the throw over to first. Mallory shows the ball, and that will end the inning, but not before. A 2-run double by Charlie Meglio gives Campbell their first lead of the game. We'll be right back. head to the top of the 6th here at Patriots Point as Peyton Brown back out on the mound for Campbell. He came on in relief of the starter, Jake Murray. Got into a little bit of an issue coming right out of the bullpen as there was one runner on, and he made it a little bit more challenging, giving up one of those base runners, but able to get out of the inning and starting clean, though. He's only allowed 1 hit over the last 2 innings. More importantly, kept Elon off the scoreboard, giving his offense a chance to get back in it, and they've done what they've needed to as they have given Brown the lead.
You know, right now, I think in the first 5 innings of this game, the most important play was that double play that Brown was able to get to end the top of the 3rd and keep Elon's lead at just 5-3. You know, they've left so many runners on base at that point that Elon, even though they were winning, just they felt like they should have been up more, and Campbell's offense was starting to get going. And now they've come through with some big hits, and Brown has really settled down into a groove.
A 2-1 count to Jackson Alford, who is 0 for 1 today officially. Strikeout looking, a sacrifice bunt, and a walk. He'll try and check his swing, unable to. Now 2-2.
Brown has gone 5 or more innings in 4 of his last 7 appearances. So this is definitely a long relief option for Campbell and Coach Marks.
Fly ball out to right field. Vittori drifting back. He'll get underneath it, make the grab. 1 away. Keller with the grab is it'll be Tank Yakubi coming to the plate. Yakubi, a double in the 1st, a ground out in the 2nd, head into a double play in the 3rd. So bat here with 1 on, nobody out.
Yeah, that was the double play that I was talking about. You know, Yakubi, as big as his first inning hit has been and his defense has been positively, that double play, which, you know, wasn't all his fault. I mean, he hit it to 3rd base when the bases were loaded, so it was a pretty easy unassisted and then 1 throw over play for Meglio.
Umpires in the stands not liking the call from the home plate umpire. And now Yakubi lines one out into left center field. He'll round first, hit the brakes real hard, head back for a single here with 1 away.
Yeah, that's big for Elon. Their offense was starting to go a little dormant, and they rely on one of their best contact hitters, you know, Yakubi. They came into this game hitting .331. You know, it might not be the best, like, you know, extra base hit guy. Doesn't have a home run this year, but guys like that are very valuable.
Ryan Sprock, 0 for 1 today officially, has a run scored. He reached on a walk in the 1st inning. Going to be tough to turn a double play as Campbell has both middle infielders close to 3rd base.
Yeah, they'll take their chances with missing out on the double play just to ensure that a hard hit ball to the left isn't out.
This one skied into left field. Simpson makes the easy routine catch. 2 away.
And Ryan Sprock, you know, he walked and got hit by a pitch this game, but he's just not been getting the big hit the last couple weeks as he had all season.
It's almost like he's pressing a little bit here late in the season, trying to, I won't say do too much, but just, you know, you get late in the season, Luke, and things start to build up. You want to do more and be the hero for your team, and it's just been a little bit tough for Sprock here.
And he's a guy who already does so much for them anyway. You kind of see why he does have that feeling where it feels like he does have to carry the whole team. He was terrific. You're talking about the tournament here last time. He went 6 for 10 here in Charleston in 23.
This one out to right field as Alex Duffy hits one against the shift. Second baseman's playing in shallow right field, but a well-hit ball. And now Elon threatening with 2 outs, 1st and 3rd. As we saw Campbell do some damage last half inning. A 2-run spot for Campbell, all coming with 2 outs. And here in the 6th, 2 outs, and Alex Duffy making it first and third as Charlie Granatel steps in. Granatel 1 for 2 today, a double, a walk, and a ground out. 2 runs batted in as he brought in the first 2 runs of the game for Elon back in the first inning.
Yeah, and then he had, Granatel did, he had the hit last inning, in the top of the 4th with 2 outs. Remember the single with 2 outs that was the last hit for Elon until this one.
Well, that one's drilled down the left field line, hooking foul, though, as it'll just be a long strike. You see that one out to left field in the foul territory, as now he goes the other way into right center field. Long run for the center fielder, Thompson. He won't get to it. That'll bring home 2 runs with 2 outs, and we've got another tie ball game at 7.
Yeah, you knew Elon, it would come eventually. They finally get that big clutch 2-out hit, and Charlie Granatel, you know, he's getting some good swings at the ball. He's kind of been swinging it better and better throughout the game, and that time goes to the right. Now, I actually want to take another look at this, because this is a nice play. It's possible that could have gone in between that little gap in the wall and been a ground rule double, and that would have taken a run off the board for Elon. But, you know, when you're an outfielder in the moment, you can't really think like that. So potentially a break for Elon as they're able to get both runs home. And, yep, tied up once again. He thought that Campbell was just going to kind of roll on as they did in that game we were talking about before, but not this time.
Coach Marks out of the dugout. He'll make the call to the bullpen. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher when we come back. So after a call to the bullpen, we will have number 12, Leighton Grubich, out of the bullpen for Campbell, as the sophomore, 5'11", 205, out of McHenry, Illinois, will be making his 17th appearance of the season, his 15th appearance out of the bullpen. He's 2-3 with 2 saves, a 3.89 ERA, and 41 2/3 innings of work. He's given up 40 hits, 19 runs, 18 of those earned, has walked 14, struck out 26 opposing batters, hitting .261 off of him.
This is a guy in Grubich who he's not a guy that's going to pitch every day for Campbell, but when he does pitch, he'll typically go a few innings. So really valuable part of this bullpen. Grubich from, as he said, McHenry, Illinois. He spent 1 year at McHenry County College, which is in Crystal Lake, Illinois. And now came over here to Campbell. And he's had a pretty good season so far for the Camels.
Grubich, a fastball that'll sit 88-91, slider 80 to 83, and a cutter. Mixes in a changeup occasionally. As Kenny Mallory Jr., a little lefty-lefty matchup, sends this one out into left field, and that will be a strike as Simpson unable to track that one down. Made a good effort on it, and it'll just be a strike, 0-1 to count.
That's yet another ball that I just kind of glanced away for a second, expecting it to go into the, over the wall, and it wasn't even close. So Simpson almost able to make the play.
Oh-1 now to Mallory Jr. Nice fastball cutting across the plate. Mallory Jr. 1 for 3 today. A double with a run scored coming back in the third inning.
Both teams now with 9 hits on the day. I mean, you can see it right up there. I mean, talk about how even these teams were.
This one over to second base. Thompson over to first for the final out of the inning. But not before a 2-out, 2-run double by Charlie Granitel. Makes it a tie ball game here at Patriots Point. Bottom of the 6th when we come back.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 90,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's Freshly Grilled Cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's Pepperoni and Melted Cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Bottom of the 6th here at Patriots Point. Luke, we've talked about that wind all day long. You see the flags flying out in left center field, blowing from left to right, and you and I keep beating that drum of, that's a foul ball, but it blows back in, or that's a routine fly ball and it goes over the wall, or that's a home run and it got brought back into the ballpark. It's just one of those things here at Patriots Point. The wind can play a factor. It's just as important as the two teams that are playing on the field. As Andrew Keller set to lead off the inning. Keller 0 for 2 today.
Yeah, it seems like the wind is never the same at 2 times. That's why, you see it blowing so hard from left to right. We're seeing fly balls do things that we've never seen it do before, and that's why, yeah, we do keep talking about it, but it's an issue the whole game.
Nice backhanded play for out number 1 as Vergantino makes the play at second as Keller retired for the 3rd time today.
Elon's defense has been sharp for the most of the game. Vergantino has been one of the most impressive guys to me. Remember, he had that play earlier that deflected off of his teammate. He still turned it into a ground out. And then that one there, the little backhand moving really backwards for him. Really good defense by Will this game.
Third baseman Sprock playing even with the bag as the number 9 hitter Jackson Thompson comes to the plate. Thompson, a couple of RBIs, one of them courtesy of a home run his last time up. The Campbell, Pennsylvania native. 1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, it's drifting Thompson once again, but leaving Sprock near third, possibly expecting the bunt, although remember last time.
Just hit it over the wall, yeah.
Yeah, no need to bunt when you do that. Well, Jackson Thompson, not really a power hitter for most of the year, but he's very good at .445 on base percentage.
This one over to the second baseman, up and over to first. We're out number 2.
That's one of those plays where the shift just makes it easier, because if there had been no shift, that they could have gotten that, but it would have involved the pitcher Nomura having to run over. So I wonder if that's kind of a thing for a pitcher, where during a shift you don't, your instinct is just to run over and cover, and then right there in that play, it's already enough players over there to take care of it.
Joe Simpson steps in with 2 away.
Joe Simpson today, as you see, 2 for 3. And it seems like I haven't talked about him a ton, but he's just so consistent every game. All he's done all year for the Camels is hit. And he wasn't even starting for them at the beginning of the year, but he came into a game early in the year. They were playing a ranked UC Santa Barbara team. The game was well decided. And Simpson's first at bat of the year, home run, and he's really never looked back since then. He once had a stretch this year, Mike, too. I was looking at this. He had a stretch where he had 4 home runs in 2 games, and Campbell lost both games. That is...
Oh, wow.
That's tough.
Yeah. A little heartbreak city there.
Yeah. No, he has just been so good all year for Campbell. Made the second team, not quite the first team, but...
Hey, you'll take it.
Yeah.
So a 2-2 count with 2 away. As Nomura tries to paint the outside corner. Just a little bit off. That'll run the count full as Nomura came on in the bottom of the 5th, got the final out of the inning. Getting his first full inning of relief as he will, with 2 outs, walk Joe Simpson.
Yeah, that 2-2 pitch was so close, but a really good take by Simpson. You saw the Elon dugout. You know, it wasn't really one you argued about, but it was kind of just one where like, oh, so close. And then that one not a clip, but yeah, another good at bat by Joe Simpson. Now on base for the 3rd time this game, and once again, not an easy inning. Elon, last 2 innings, they've gotten the first 2 outs and then given up runs at some point in the inning.
Strike on the outside corner to Dalen Thompson. Thompson 1 for 3 today. His lone hit, a single back in the 3rd. Sandwiched on either side, a strikeout looking and a ground out.
Man, Thompson hitting a run, even though he hasn't had the most impact. Just so many different guys already this game have had a big impact at the plate for both teams.
Another throw over, that one really close as Simpson had a big lead over there. Fully stretched out to dive back in that time. As we mentioned, Simpson with 20 stolen bases on the season has already been thrown out once today. Just the 2nd time all season he's been caught. Baseball gets loose out of the Campbell bullpen, and we'll track it down and we'll get back underway. The 0-1 runner goes. Ball hit well out to left field. It'll chase Alford back to the track, the wall. That ball is gone. Campbell with another 2-run scoring inning with 2 outs.
Campbell has done all of their damage the last 3 innings with shots, not just the run scored, everything in the inning. And now Dalen Thompson, you know, he had a decent day, the 1 hit and the run, but now he's really going to get in on it. The tie-breaking home run, his 8th of the year.
106 off the bat, he knew it. As you'll see the little toss and the flip, points to his dugout, 390 over the left field wall as Alford runs out of room. And it is a 9-7 ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. Andrew Schultz. The base is now empty. 2 away, 0 for 3 today. A couple of strikeouts and a flyout for the number 3 hitter in the lineup.
Yeah, Schultz, I think he's actually happy to be seeing somebody different because Lavelle really had his number today. 0 for 3 with the 2 strikeouts.
That is the first home run given up this season by Sam Nomura.
Yeah, no, he's been good for them all year. He's been at times he's been a closer for Elon. There's one game this year where he came into an 18-17 game against Hofstra and got a 2-inning save. And that just shows that, you know, you can stick him in any point.
Fly ball, long run for the right fielder, and he runs out of room as Fattori shaded over towards center field, unable to get to that one. Campbell stay 1-2.
Yeah, long run. I'll have to catch his breath a little bit after that one. You got the open gate out there, so you don't have to worry about running into the wall. Yeah, you can kind of see that both sides taking a quick break there to catch their breath after that long foul play.
Outfield will reset straight away. Infield shifted to the left with Scholl at the plate. The 1-2, high and tight, makes it 2-2.
Scholl, remember, he had tied for the team lead this year in home runs. He had 11 for Campbell. So very dangerous hitter, even though we haven't seen him do it yet this game.
And a strikeout to end the inning. Nomura gives up a 2-run home run. Campbell takes a 2-run lead as we head to the 7th inning when we come back.
One that's measured in more than inches and seconds still serves.
We move to the 7th inning. Campbell up on Elon, 9-7, Luke. And Luke, these 6 teams here this week have had a lot of great players come through their program. College of Charleston taking a moment to honor Brett Garner, a player at the College of Charleston from 02 to 05, a walk-on, and then a longtime Yankee great.
Yeah, no, he was a great Major League Baseball player. I might have rooted against him a lot in the pros, but I definitely always respected him as a player. He's very good.
Will Vergantino to lead things off for Elon here in the top of the 7th.
And Vergantino, remember, 0-for-3, but he did reach twice on the 2 errors, including starting off the 2nd inning, which turned into a 2-run inning for Elon.
This one right back up the middle off of Grubich. Grubich was looking for it. It went in the other direction, and it'll be an infield single to start the top of the 7th. Grubich mad that he wasn't able to get it. He snaps at the ball that's tossed back to him. Let's take a look at this one. I don't know if it caught him square or if it skipped off the turf first. Lucky break. It hits right in front on the mound. It doesn't make contact. That could have been an ankle, and that ankle doesn't have a lot of padding.
He lost the ball there, but it is a miracle he didn't lose his balance, because that I was expecting him to go down there, but yeah, hitting the bottom of his shoe, that's the best place to put it. So I know if you're Grubich, you're upset you let a guy get on base, but you'll take it. And that's the first hit of the game for Vergantino. He continues to have these very unusual at-bats every time.
Now with 1 on and 1 away, Vince Fattori stands in. 1 for 1 today. A couple of walks and a single, a run driven in, and a run scored for Vince. Checks his swing. They'll appeal down to first. They say he does go around. Doesn't like the call. 0-2 the count now.
And Vince Vittore touched on this, but he was taken out of the starting lineup the last 2 games against UNCW when Elon got swept to end the year. But Coach Kennedy showing faith, putting him back in, and now he's been on base 3 times.
The 0-2 swung on and missed as Grubich throws the fastball up in the zone, 89. That'll be his first strikeout of the day.
Number 20, Jake Haidu.
Jake Haidu comes to the plate with 1 on and 1 out. Haidu in a simpler situation his last time up, 1 on and 1 out, hit into a double play. Middle infield for Campbell at double play depth. As Haidu takes a fastball low and inside for ball 1.
Honestly, if I were Haidu, even with the 1 on 1 out, I wouldn't be so opposed to seeing the bunt here. We've seen him get on once this game, and the infield, they're not really, they're playing for the double play. They're not playing for the bunt. So I wouldn't be surprised if I saw it here.
Throw over. As Bergantino back in ahead of the throw. Bergantino on the season, 15 for 16 in stolen bases.
Yeah, and we really haven't seen him or anyone from Elon run it yet. I think we saw a couple hit and runs, but that's about it.
Outfield straightaway for Campbell. Now a 2-1 count with 1 away. As Haidu steps back in. Grubich from the stretch. This one out to left field. Haidu comes through with a base hit. That'll have extra bases written all over it as he'll pull into second base for his 6th double of the season.
Well, Jake Haidu, he hasn't had a ton of games, but he has the potential. You were talking about that earlier in the game with Coach Kennedy saying he believes that Haidu can be a good hitter. And we've seen the potential of that here in his freshman year, and that double right down the line, and now Elon business once again to try to throw another punch in this back and forth game.
An off-speed pitch from Grubich. And Haidu turns on it, sends it down the line as Jackson Alford comes to the plate. Now second and third with just 1 out, leadoff batter with an opportunity to bring home some runs. Swings through the fastball, 0-1 the count. 91 on the fastball from Grubich.
Alford still looking for his first hit of the game. He's kind of like Sprock, another guy who maybe started to press near the end of the year, but he's had such a good year.
Another swing and a miss, this time on the breaking ball, makes it 0-2.
Alford, he was over 200 for most of over 300 for most of the year. 296 coming into this game. He had 23 multi-hit games this year.
0-2 misses outside, 1-2 the count now, 1 away. A 9-7 ball game. Tying run stands on its second bases. Elon led off the inning with a single. Then the most recent double by Haidu has 2 runners in scoring position. Alford up the middle, too short. They'll concede the run as the play at first is in time. RBI for Alford, and it's a 1-run game here in the top of the 7th as Elon plates 1.
That kind of read my mind. I was just about to say that Campbell, they were backing off. They were going to concede the run and get the second out here. And they do that with the clean play by Darnell Parker. Yeah, but the way this game's been going back and forth, I think that you're okay with giving up a run in the inning if you're Campbell. You know, if you can get out of the inning still with the lead, that's a positive. Because you believe that you can keep holding your end.
Oh, why not? Why not? You've scored in 5 straight innings. You've only been blanked in 1 inning, and that was in the bottom of the first, in which you had a runner on third and no outs and just couldn't bring them home. And then after that, you put up a 3 spot, a couple of singles, a 2, and then 2 spots. So, 9 runs on the 10 hits for Campbell, 8 on 11 hits for Elon as Tank Yakubi stands in with a runner on third, and now 2 away. Yakubi, a single and a double, as he is 2 for 4 today.
This game might be decided which bullpen pitcher can come in and just, give that real quick 1-2-3 inning. Brown did it for a little bit, but then eventually they got to him. Elon did.
Yeah, we still haven't had a clean 1-2-3 inning here in Game 2.
Which is incredible to say here at the top of the 7th.
I mean, you look up at that scoreboard there, Luke, and a lot of crooked numbers. A lot of numbers other than a 0.
We've only had 3 zeros all game. Crazy to think about, but constant upgrade back and forth to the scoreboard, and in general I like games like this, but definitely can get crazy to keep track of.
A 2-2 count now as the fastball misses inside to Yakubi. The center fielder Thompson shaded well into left center field. Big gap essentially in center field as the foul ball will keep it at 2-2. The right fielder playing in right center field. That's an interesting outfield shift as they are not expecting Yakubi to be able to get around on the southpaw Grubich.
Well, the last time that Yakubi was up, he had the little single, the bloop single the other way, and that's what Campbell is playing for a little bit here. Although with just a run on third, not the runner on second, does leave a big risk to double in the right center field.
2-2 misses inside. That'll run the count full with 2 away. Tying run stands on at third base as Yakubi awaits the pitch from Grubich. Grubich will glance over his shoulder, delivers to the plate, out to left field. The center fielder, Thompson, underneath it, makes the catch for the final out. Elon, though, puts up a run in the top of the 7th. They make it a 1-run game. We'll be right back.
Look, Elsie is a role player. She cannot lead a team.
Her handles ain't that good. I'm literally, look, you almost ripped her right there.
Y'all swear Kelsey Plum is a top player, but I don't see it. She's a good piece. If Plum is your #1 option, then you're not winning anything major.
What do you say to those that say you can't shoot a 3 that save your life?
Do it again, though. She can barely hold the ball.
But I'm just not sold on. She can't make that. She's cooking.
Apologize. I ain't gonna lie. She nice.
Well, I mean, she is in the WNBA, so she's gonna hit a few shots. She a problem for real.
That is a new pitcher for Elon. Right-hander, number 45, Hank Chris.
Welcome back in on this CAA Baseball Championship broadcast. A 9-8 Campbell lead. A new pitcher on the mound for Elon. And I apologize, we have to effort here to get you the pitcher, as it will be Hank Crit, who on the roster is number 3, but wearing number 45 today. So Crit is entering into the ball game, making his 21st appearance of the season. He does have 8 starts. He's 2-4 with 1 save, a 6.35 ERA for the big righty. As in 45 1/3 innings, he's given up 57 hits, 47 runs, 32 earned, He's walked 29, struck out 41. Opposing batters hitting .311 off of crit. The righty stands on the mound at 6'4", 215, the freshman out of Brooksville, Kentucky.
Well, Crit, he's really had an up and down year for Elon. He's had some spots where he's come in and given him good innings, had other spots where he's blown some games for the Phoenix this year. At this point, though, there's not a lot of pressure because nobody's really done a great job holding either offense down, so both teams just looking for the guy who can be the first. You know, even if he holds Campbell to 1 at this point, you know, keeps him in the game.
Criff, the sinker. Almost at 88-91 as Joey Morton skies this one into left center field. That'll be Yakubi making the grab for out number 1. Criff also a slider and a changeup. A 3-pitch mix. Want to work down and away to most batters. So look to get a little run against those right-handed hitters.
Yeah, Criff is also, he's had some success as a starter this year too, but mainly been in the bullpen. And yeah, for the freshman, he's kind of, you know, a lot of freshmen are like that as pitchers, kind of have your up and down years.
Yeah, a lot of times your coaches talk about freshman pitchers with talent, and you know they're good enough to get you a loss sometimes, in the sense of you know they've got good stuff, but they get out there and they just don't have that experience, and they can be a little erratic or at times just a little bit too much over the plate. As this one sit right back up the middle, and it will be Bergantino playing right behind the bag at second, making the play 2 away.
And finally, Elon has been able to get Jonah Oster out. Took the perfect shift with playing right behind second was Bergantino, as you said, but they finally are able to get Oster out. He was just, as he was a triple away from the cycle, he was just on it this game, the way he was seeing the ball.
And now the dangerous spot, if you're Elon, there's 2 outs for Campbell.
And nobody on, but
this is what we've seen the last few innings from the Camels. They are earning their name the Fighting Camels. They have been fighting from behind and fighting with 2 outs here in this second game of the CAA Championship Tournament. A 1-0 count to Meglio, make it 2-0. Charlie 1 for 2 today. A couple of runs driven in.
Campbell, they are 6 for their last 10 with 2 out this game. You know, some doubles and homers in there too.
Yep, Meglio a double with 2 runs scored back in the 5th. A fly out and a walk. Also has a run scored.
Now that was the hit that gave Campbell the lead for the first time.
2-1 ripped down the left field line. Foul as Meglio got the front foot down just a little bit too early. I think he knew what it was. All over that fastball, 111 off the barrel of the bat as it was laced down the left field line. Foul.
I'm talking about, you know, freshman. Meglio's a guy who had immediate success right as a freshman. He was on the all-freshman team a year ago and had another good season this year. The batting average dropped, but he was, you know, still a big home run, extra base hit threat at the plate.
Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, and for the first time today, Luke, a 1-2-3 inning, and it comes from the freshman Hank Crift. Time to go to a break. 8th inning. When we come back, Campbell leading by 1. Up here in Mount Pleasant as Campbell leads 9-8. And Elon put up a run last inning. Kept Campbell off the board in the 7th. As that's the first time Campbell has not scored a run since the first inning.
Yeah, as you were saying, Mike, the first 1, 2, 3 inning for either team. So now the pressure has turned on a little bit for Leighton Grubich and the Camels. Grubich has thrown an inning in the 3rd, but these 2, 3, even longer inning saves have not been 4 into Campbell. So if he can keep pitching well, they might have him go the rest of the way. Although Campbell, they've got other options in their bullpen as well.
They do. Ryan Sprock will lead things off for Elon. That pitch missing low. Now 2-0 the count to the third baseman. He was 0 for 2 today. He's reached base twice. First 2 plate appearances, a walk and a hit by pitch.
I know that Sprock, he'll want to tie the game in one swing, but just get on base here, and that'll be big for your team.
Big cut there, fouls it back, makes it 2-1. Grubich with a big circle around the back of the mound before he climbs back up to deliver the 2-1. Miss off the plate as Thompson tries to frame it up nice for the home plate umpire.
It seems like Raynor's had a little bit of a hitter-friendly zone. Not like egregiously so, but I feel like we've seen a lot of close pitches on both sides be called balls.
Foul back into the catcher. The count now full at 3-2. Luke, to jump on that for a second, I mean, it's been, in my opinion, a great game called by the home plate umpire.
As long as it's consistent, it's good.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what we always.
I haven't really, with the track man right in front of us, I really haven't seen a miss all game. I don't know if he's calling the perfect game for an umpire yet or not, but I haven't looked at every pitch. So, but I know, there were a couple that the fans thought for sure that was a strike, and a quick glance at the track man shows no, that's off the plate.
Yeah, well, these guys frame and they want to fool everybody. So
payoff pitch yet again. That'll be ball 4 as Sprock reaches on the free pass.
Again, really good plate appearance from Sprock. I know he didn't tie the game like he probably wanted to, but he did his job getting on base and now representing the tying run as Elon trying to rally again.
Alex Duffy, catcher for Elon, steps to the plate. The cleanup hitter in the lineup, 2 for 3 today, a single, a double, a run scored, a couple of runs driven in.
Yeah, Duffy's had a good day at the plate. He was another guy who was really good all season and started slumping near the end. But remember, he had the 2-hit game, even though Elon lost the last game of the year. And it looks like that has kind of helped him because it has continued over into this game. Now looking to get on base for the 4th time, actually. 2 hits and a walk.
Yeah, Duffy trying to lay down a bunt there with an 0-1 count. And Grubich ran it up and in on him, as you should do. Make it more difficult to lay down that bunt.
Well, the Campbell defense has been solid since the 3rd inning. They made 3 errors early in this game.
High fly ball to shallow center field. Running in is Thompson. Hangs up long enough for him to get underneath it for the first out.
I think that's been one of the biggest reasons that Campbell's been able to come back, is that they were able to secure their defense, make the routine defensive plays, a few good defensive plays out there too. That even though with the errors they fell behind early because of them, they didn't let it completely ruin them to a point where they were just in such an insurmountable deficit.
I agree with you on that, Luke. That's a good catch, because those errors for Campbell coming early in the ball game, 2 in the 2nd inning and 1 in the 3rd, and since then. They've played some pretty clean baseball.
Yeah, the Campbell errors defined that inning, and then also the runners left on base for Elon. 5 over those 2 innings.
Charlie Granitel, 1 on and 1 out. Middle infield at double play depth for Campbell as Granitel takes this one out to center field. That's a base knock. They'll keep the runner at second base and Sprock, and it'll be first and second with just 1 out for Elon here in the top of the 8th.
Now Charlie Granitel, he's been a solid hitter for Elon this year, and he's a veteran, been around for a while, but he is suddenly turning into the hottest hitter on their team.
Yeah, started out the day 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Single, double, single in his last 3 plate appearances.
Yeah, and once it's getting into crunch time, I mean, without him, Elon probably is scoreless since or at least close to scoreless since the 3rd inning. He's really been carrying the offense now, the senior.
2 on for Kenny Mallory Jr. Mallory Jr., a big swing and a miss. Mallory Jr., a one-time Vanderbilt player. Not a whole lot of action with the Commodores, but has the talent to get a look like that as he takes a big swing there. Trying to send one well over the right field wall. Comes up empty, behind in the count, now 0-2.
We haven't seen a ton of swing and misses today, particularly for the Campbell pitchers against Elon. Mallory hasn't struck out yet.
And Luke talks it into existence, and you will need to send a apology card to the Mallory family as he will strike out for the first time today. Second strikeout of the game for Leighton Grubich.
Yeah, that was just one of those, what do you call them? The good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good night. That was what that was right there, because the entire time Grubich just had his number. Mallory maybe, thinking the situation, trying to do a little too much. And now does Elon have one more 2-out hit in them?
Bergantino with a base hit today. He's been on base 3 times, though. We mentioned earlier in the day a couple of errors allowed him to reach base. A foul out in foul territory to the catcher. And then a single and a run scored in the 7th. Chance here to tie it up with 2 outs.
And I was saying this every time Bergantino's up, it seems like something strange has happened. Whether it's the foul ball that somehow stayed in play or the ball that hit off of the bottom of the shoe of Grubich.
The 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1.
But on that note, now this is the second time around for Grubich against all these hitters. They've seen him before.
They're talking about the 2-out production for both teams, really. You look at Elon, hitting .375 with 2 outs, and you think, man, that's pretty good. As this one's fouled off, it'll make it 1-2. Then you glance down 1 row to Campbell's numbers. They're 6 for 12, hitting .500. With 2 outs in the ball game, Luke. That's going to get you some runs.
If you add that both up, that's 9 for 20, 450. You've seen 9 2-out hits this game. And it seemed like early in the game, most of the damage was being done early. Leadoff runners getting on, which we've still seen a lot of. Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything that's gotten us to 9-8.
They make it a 2-2 count. It's Bergantino able to lay off that one. We've seen a couple of long walks around the mound for Grubich as he kind of dials back in, ahead in the count. And then the count will run even or run full, and just a little bit of a reset. They'll appeal down to first base. They say he does not go around. And what a check swing there by Bergantino.
Yeah, he was just able to hold up on that one. I think he was sending it out too, which I think almost kind of helps you to hold up, because you actually get more time to it when you're sending the bat out. And he gets a second chance.
Runners will get a head start with the 3-2, fouled straight back and out of play. big spot here in the top of the 8th. It's Campbell with 2 outs and 2 on.
Kind of shows you what kind of game this is, where neither of these runners are getting pinch run for. These aren't the fastest guys on the team, but I think that Mike Kennedy is thinking, hey, I need these guys still in the field at bat again. Yeah, 8th inning, too early to pinch run.
Yes, Brock on at second. Granitel, designated hitter, on at first. Payoff pitch again. Shot down the first baseline, foul.
But now the runners being able to go is so big that anything in the outfield has a pretty good chance to score 2 runs. We've seen 11 combined extra base hits in this game. And this is a ballpark that's really good for it, but even still.
Runners go right back to the middle. The second baseman short hops it and then throws it away. Tying run comes home as the ball bounces back to the first baseman. Time called as it looked like it was going to be a line out. Oster at second. Kind of has to short hop it though. We'll see it on the replay here, Luke, as it was a hard hit ball. And yeah, short hops into his glove. Just a nice easy throw is all he needs, but throws it super wide of first. You see the excitement from Will Vergantino as Campbell ties it on the 4th error of the game by Campbell.
Something about when Will Vergantino's up, that just causes Campbell's infielders to just totally kind of glitch out, it seems like.
That's the third
time now for him.
That's the 3rd time he's reached on an error today as Granitel heads over to third base. That'll do it for Grubich today. We'll take a break, introduce you to the new Fighting Camel on the mound when we come back.
I saw this guy's name. I haven't said it. I said this guy's got one of the best names.
You sound really excited. As we come back from break, the new pitcher on the mound, Luke, has got to be one of the best names in college baseball. It's number 44, Jet Music. Jet making his 17th appearance of the season, his 16th out of the bullpen. He's 1-2 with 1 save, an 8.72 ERA in 21 2/3 innings of work. He's given up 21 hits, 23 runs. 21 of those were earned. Has walked 14, struck out 34. Opposing batters hitting .247 off of him. Jet, a freshman, 6'2", 190 out of Clayton, North Carolina.
And he's another guy who's another two-way player in this conference. In fact, he's been more of a hitter than a pitcher this year. He's had 113 at-bats and 17 appearances out of the bullpen. And yeah, it's been up and down for him out of the bullpen. Another freshman who's kind of had mixed success. Now he has not had as long of appearances as some of the guys before him. When he comes in, it's usually for 1 or 2 or sometimes even part of 1 inning. Did have an appearance against Elon recently where he went 1 2/3 scoreless and helped Elon win that game. That was the game where Campbell was down 6-1 and then won 11-6. So a recent good pitching performance against these Elon hitters. Come in to try to get out of this inning. It's been an up and down day for Jonah Oster.
Runner goes from first, pitch called a strike. They'll let Vergantino have second base.
Yeah, 4 errors now on the day for Campbell. They're not going to risk letting Elon just be gifted the go-ahead run now.
Vittori, 1 hit on the day as he's 1 for 2 officially. Has reached on a couple of walks, a run scored, a run driven in. As Elon has tied it up here in the top of the 8th, and you know, Luke, it's been back and forth all game, so always thinking there could be another tie on the horizon. Strike 3. Jet Music comes in, strikes out Vittori to end the inning, but not before. Elon picks up 1 run. It'll tie it at 9. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th when we come back. Luke, I don't know about you, but when I'm trying to get into a CAA event that's sold out, there's only one place to do it, and that's soldout.com, the official ticket resale marketplace of the CAA. Make sure you go to soldout.com to get any tickets for any CAA event, because there's some hot tickets around town all throughout the season.
Yeah, maybe you're just tuning in, you see this game, and you're like, wow, look at this game here, I want to get in and watch some of these. Well, looks like you can.
Again, soldouttickets.com, making sure you have an opportunity to get out here. Just getting started, though, here with the baseball tournament, as Darnell Parker Jr. will lead off here in the bottom of the 8th, tied at 9. On the ground at third, Sprock scoops, throws, 1 away.
And that's one of the reasons he keeps Ryan Sprock in the game, as he's, so many different talents. He has played an incredible game at third base today. Remember, Parker hit the homer out to center field his last time up, but that time retired quickly.
Andrew Keller 0 for 3 today. This one hard hit out to center field, but I think he got underneath it as Yakubi able to glide to his left and make the grab. That ball was just a miss for Keller.
Yeah, Andrew Keller all day, he's kind of just missed on a few. He's been aggressive all day. And it feels like maybe he's been just like 1 step off. So maybe he's due if Campbell can get him up one more time. Who knows? But for now, they'll have to rely on Jackson Thompson.
Thompson, 1 for 3 today. That's a solo home run. A couple of ribbies, though, as he drove in a run on that 3-4-3 out at first base. Ground out to second, and his last at-bat is a strike across the inside corner. And how about Hank Krift, Luke? We talking about not having a 1-2-3 inning yet in the game. Last inning, he comes in, gets a 1-2-3, and he's an out away from putting up back-to-back 1-2-3 innings.
Yeah, but then also remember, prior to last inning, this is exactly the spot Campbell was in. They've been in this spot, 2 outs, nobody on, every inning of this game since the 4th, and until last inning, they were able to overcome it with 2-out rallies. One time it was Jackson Thompson who hit the initial game-tying home run. Last time Elon had the lead was 5-4 in the 5th when Thompson tied it.
Elon fans chasing the strikeout there as it misses outside to the left-handed swinging Thompson. The 1-2 out to left center field. Coming in and making the shoestring grab is Alford. 6 in a row retired by the freshman Hank Crift. We'll head to break, top of the ninth. Tied at 9 when we come back.
First 3 innings were very slow. Since then, it's been really good.
Top of the ninth here at Patriots Point, Luke, and it's a tie ball game.
Yeah, we've had a good one here today. You know, day one started, we've seen both ends of it. We saw a complete domination by the host College of Charleston, and now in this game we have seen the even game that we thought we had a good chance to see. You know, Campbell getting big hits. Campbell's got 3 home runs, which is what we knew they were better at than Elon. But Campbell also with the shaky defense, which we knew was one of their issues. And, you know, Elon, they've left some runners on base, missed opportunities, but they've scratched out, gotten enough hits, and it's all added up to a tie game, 9-9 after 8. I feel like this game really has been so much of a microcosm of both of these teams' seasons.
Yeah, Elon with 10 runners left on base here today as Jake Haidu to lead things off here in the top of the ninth. Haidu, a single, a bunt single, and a double as he's 2 for 4 today.
And you just saw it showed the new right fielder, Lucas Schramm. As first defensive change of the day for either team. Schramm coming in to play for Andrew Keller.
1-1, strike at the top of the zone, makes it 1-2.
We talked about this too, but Jet Music has such an odd release. You know, he kind of glides over to his right, and it seems like when he releases the ball, he's just a foot off of the mound.
One fouled back towards us, but a screen and a window that doesn't open gets in the way.
I think if the window ever had to come into play, I think we'd be very surprised. Say that.
That means that net did not do its job. The 1-2. Misses upstairs, 2-2.
Jake Haidu, like you were saying, 2 hits today. He's a guy that, you know, he's an X factor. You know, you look at him on the lineup and you don't think much of his stats, and, you know, only 92 at bats coming in.
Yeah, the numbers do not tell the story for that freshman, as this one has popped up behind the bag at second. The shortstop, Parker, will make the grab. 1 away.
The funny thing about Campbell is they've actually been really good all game tracking the fly ball. It's been the ground balls. That's been all their issues. Ground balls, and in particular the throws from the infield.
Yeah, 3 errors on the day for Auster. And the other error was Meglio, I believe. Yeah, it was the third baseman Meglio on the bunt. Yep.
And they could have given that one to either him or first base. Could have gone either way. Neither played it perfectly.
0-1 count to Alfred from Marietta, Georgia. Looking for his first base hit of the day. He's 0 for 3. Has driven in a run.
And he also laid down a good bunt in the second inning. You know, first pitch really surprised Campbell and helped lead to an Elon run there.
This one out to center field. Charging in is Thompson. He'll slam on the brakes, make the grab, 2 away.
Well, they were playing him in for the outfield, and it worked out that time. Alfred just can't really seem to get a break right now at the plate.
Center fielder, number 15.
Now a 2-0. Tank Yakubi. Dig in, 2 for 3 today. A single, a double, a couple of runs scored, and a run driven in.
You're seeing a unique shift on him now, where you got the second baseman playing to the right, center field playing a tad to the left, though not as much as the last time. But they do leave that right center field a little bit open for him.
Now back out of play. Yakubi behind 0-2. Now they'll shift the right fielder closer to right center field as Thompson moves even further over into left center. They'll check on the swing of Yakubi. They say he does not go around. Campbell fans wanting the strikeout. It's Jet Music looking to have his own 1-2-3 inning. 1-2. Little dribbler down the first base line. It'll be a race to the bag. Nice play between Morton and Music to get the final out. 1-2-3 is Jet Music has retired all 4 batters he's faced. Bottom of the 9th coming up when we come back.
Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's freshly grilled cheesesteak, Mike's Honey.
My dad
Jersey
just
Mike's
texted me
pepperoni and melted
game.
cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's meets Mike's Extra Hot Honey on the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak. Jersey Mike's freshly grilled cheesesteak, Mike's Honey. Jersey Mike's pepperoni and melted cheese, Mike's Honey. Mike's. Dale, the new Mike's Hot Honey Chicken Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Bottom of the 9th here at Patriots Point. Ryan Sprock will take over on the mound for Elon. He'll move from third base to the mound, as we'll get you the new third baseman as well for Elon. But first, for Sprock, this will be appearance number 14 for him, all out of the bullpen. He's 1-1 with 4 saves, a 1.69 ERA, and 16 innings pitched. He's given up 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Has walked 6, struck out 19 opposing batters, hitting a minuscule 125 off of him.
Well, first, a lot of credit. As first, just a real quick look at another two-way player, actually, Justin Stikowski.
Yeah, go for it, Luke. Get it.
At third base now. But yeah, you know, huge credit to Hank Kripp. He did a brilliant job out of the bullpen, but tie game now, no room for error. Elon not messing around. They're going to their best overall player, Ryan Sprock. And as he said, he's been great. You could argue he's been even better on the mound this year than he's been at the plate with his sub-2 ERA. You know, usually only pitches an inning at a time, but you know, he hadn't pitched in 4 days. So you knew that, and you know, he pitched in that UNCW series. He only pitched 1 inning. So you knew that he was going to be ready for this one, and not at all surprised to see him in the game in this part.
Top of the order, Joe Simpson leading things off for Campbell. It's right where you want to be if you are Campbell, at the top of your order. Simpson, 2 for 3 today. A walk, a single, a triple. Only time he was retired was on a ground out to third. Hits this one a mile high into left field. If it's gone, it's a game winner, and it is gone. Solo home run in the bottom of the 9th by Joe Simpson, and that will move Campbell into the winner's bracket. As he comes around, he'll be mobbed by his team. What a finish here in Game 2 today, Luke.
Are you kidding? We just had just about everything at this game. This is one of the great games I think we've ever seen in this tournament, and how else would it end but a walk-off home run? You know, Joe Simpson, we said it before, he was having such a great but kind of quietly great day. Well, it's not quiet anymore. He's the hero of the game, as his teammates are going to let him enjoy it tonight.
For Sprague, that's just the second home run given up on the season, as the solo home run for Simpson is his 10th of the year. That was a pitch that came in at 92. The ball went out at 99, 370 feet over the 28-foot wall in left field. It'll be Jet Music who'll pick up the win in the game for Campbell, as Ryan Sprague will pick up the loss. The Jersey Mikes sub above play of the game. Well, it's a no-doubter. It's going to be the walk-off home run by Joe Simpson.
Over the wall in left, as you said, Mike, a no-doubter. And just a tough break for Ryan Sprague, as he had been so good all year, and we barely got to talk.
And that was today's Jersey Mike sub above play of the game. Luke, any final thoughts as we get ready to head out here tonight?
I really do. I think this game had everything. You know, so many different players contributed, and even though both teams made mistakes, they both overcame it, and it took heroics by one of the best players in the conference, Joe Simpson, to win it. Big credit to Jet Music, as he was the only one for Campbell who could truly finally come in and stabilize the game. And a well-deserved win out of the bullpen. Yeah, what a first day.
Yeah, Luke, I mean, what's more important is we have a little bit of clarity about what's going to happen tomorrow in this back-and-forth affair. Campbell will win 10-9, but for tomorrow, loser's bracket game, it's going to be William and Mary and Elon. That's going to be at 11 a.m., and then at 3 p.m., it'll be Northeastern taking on Charleston. And then Game 5, which is at 7 p.m., will be UNCW taking on Campbell. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. For Luke Gerasati, I've been Mike Ward, and you've been watching the CAA Championship right here on Flo College.